meteorologist John Gordon. We have yet another weather impact alert day. It has been a busy stretch over the past week and a half. So we are watching showers and storms roll through Kentuckiana and heavy rainfall, but we're also watching a severe threat that is greatly increasing as these storms move into our area.
Yeah, so we got, you're going to see on the radar here in a second, it's all moving from the west-southwest to the east-northeast, and they are rotating, and they're very shallow. They're called mini supercells. They're all under about 30,000 feet, and they are problematic because they are spinning, and we're going to go through that right now.
Yeah, so here are the active warnings that we have as of 7:30. We have a few severe thunderstorm warnings. We were looking at that in Du Bois County, also Perry County up toward English and Crawford County, and then this one that's stretching Grayson County through Breckinridge County over into portions of Hardin County and also Meade County until 7 o'clock Central Time. So if we do take a look at these individual storms that we are tracking here in terms of velocity, so a few things that we look at are some areas of rotation. Which storm would you like to start with?
Let's start with Breckinridge County.
So this surge that you're seeing here on the winds, so your velocity, those are some very strong winds that are rolling through Breckinridge County right now.
As you're watching that loop right now, folks, look how it's bowing from the west-southwest to the east-northeast. So, folks, if you're in Hardensburg, Irvington, you're going to get 60-mile-an-hour winds. See those little really bright bursts like lime sherbet? How many of you remember that? Moving off to the northeast, and those in there will have the strongest winds. Most of that area will get a 40-mile-per-hour wind, but when you see those bright, enhanced light green, lime greens, if you will, I think up to 60 miles an hour, and the Weather Service did put out severe right there. The second one is our friends that are coming out of Perry going into Crawford. So if we go up there we go. Look at that little spin by just northeast of Leopold, which we mentioned just the other night, believe it or not. Just northeast, you see the greens, the bright greens next to that light reds. That is an indication of rotation and spinning up top, and that's moving towards Leavenworth and Interstate 64. The Weather Service also has a warning out for that one. That one, folks, if you're in Leavenworth and Corydon, that's heading your direction as well. Those are the two most. Also in Du Bois, which is just a little bit out of our area, that has been rotating consistently as well, and that is pushing to the northeast of Jasper. That is not as strong as it once was. Notice the big thing is they put out the big green box, Mallory, for a flash flood warning. What a surprise.
Yes, so as we mentioned, heavy rain, very efficient rainfall producers here, flood watch in effect. I'm sure you've heard us talking about that through the overnight hours. So we do have flash flood warnings until 10 p.m. You'll notice that's for Paoli, so Orange County, Crawford County, down to Perry County, and over to Du Bois County there. So that's until 10 p.m. As we mentioned, turn around. Don't drown. We're getting some very heavy rainfall rates from this. So flash flooding is either ongoing or expected to begin shortly, of course, whenever they issue these in place. And you'll notice the reflectivity here, just a lot of red. I mean, that goes to show you that is heavy rainfall.
Yeah, the dew points are high. We have all this tropical moisture, and if you're in any of that red area, it is going to rain quite hard. So if you've got the Friday evening plans, whether or not you're playing softball or t-ball or whatever, going to a picnic, this is going to be in the metro here between 8 and 8:30, and all plans in the metro, 100% chance you are going to get storms in the metro, all along the I-65 corridor.
Yeah, so we've seen a few just like spotty showers, spotty downpours so far in Louisville within the last hour or two, but the main event has been off to our west and northwest. So just know that this radar is going to become a lot more active if you do live in Louisville, and we'll be watching for any of these stronger storms with the wind gusts that we're seeing. But really, this Boeing segment, I would say,
is the main threat.
Is the main guy right there. So, I mean, you can just see it surging.
So we look for these little spins on the leading edge. If you zoom in just a little bit more, you can see those little bright enhanced greens. Look at the one that's right up there, way up there by 261 by Lodeberg. So that is an area they'll consider issuing a tornado warning. The thing is, it's spinning really proficiently off the surface, but in the low levels, it's having just a little bit of a problem getting down to the surface. So that's why we're on the edge. That's where the arrows that Mallory's got on the screen. But right there is one that they are really, they just issued new severe, no surprise.
Severe, yeah.
I'll imagine that. Anyway, that's heading to you, Brandenburg. Brandenburg, on a Friday evening, we have storms moving away. You got a severe thunderstorm warning where they go 60?
Yep, 60-mile-per-hour wind
And
gusts.
did they go tornado possible? Probably not.
Yes.
They did?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Possible
yeah,
tag.
because they're spinning it. That's the best way to handle that right now. That is going to be into the metro. So Brandenburg, all the way to Valley Station, Fairdale, Louisville, all this area is bulging up to, look at the last scan, really strong velocities. Those are usually 60 to 70 mile an hour right in that area, and they're trying to spin. It's more pushing out than in, which is a good thing. We don't want tornadoes, no.
Right.
Let's go back up to Crawford if we could real quick. We'll take a look at, there's that spin. There it is. Where's that near? You want to track any of these?
Sure. So we're talking about this guy right here? So this is moving somewhat northeast.
Yeah. West-southwest, like 250 at 45 maybe.
Yeah. So let's see.
We're doing two things at once. We're looking at the monitor too. Anyway, there we go. They're tracking that off to the northeast. Is that will be affecting all these places, she'll tell you.
So Beechwood, 742, Carefree, 748, Milltown, 758, DePaul, 801, Ramsey, 804, Fredericksburg in Indiana, 808, Palmyra, 811. That's if that kind of that area of spin that we're seeing continues.
Let's go down to the one in Breckenridge if we can and track that out if you don't mind. That's the one of most concern because that's going to end up getting into the metro. That's going to go up to Fort Knox and Brandenburg and just south of Corydon. All that area is really going to get some strong winds right in there. There we go.
So let me take
probably about the same movement. Maybe about 240 at 40.
I'm looking at some of the information that they have.
It's moving
here.
faster than they got. It's not 30. It's moving at 40.
We can do 40, and I'll do this particular area that we're seeing right here.
Bingo. That's it. What time does it get to Louisville?
So Valley Station at 8:25.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So Brandenburg 758, Laconia 806, Dogwood at 810, and as we mentioned, Valley Station 825, Shively at 833.
Yeah. Yeah, there's two areas in there, especially that southwestern one right there. That one is definitely spinning, and don't be surprised you get a tornado warning. I hope not. But right now, to me, I'd go exactly what they did. I would keep them going, severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible. Most of it is wind. If you do a radar loop, you can see this thing really pushing off from the west-southwest to the east. Watch how fast this is moving towards the metro. Look, you can just draw. There's a nice little curvature. Remember all geometry school? Anyway, there it is, pushing and bulging off to the northeast. That's a strong indication it's being pushed. And this thing's going to be done by 10 o'clock tonight.
It's a very quick mover.
Yeah, this is not the 6-hour marathon from
No,
Sunday night, Monday morning.
Right, yeah. So this will be kind of in and out, the strongest winds along the Boeing segments that we're watching there. As John keeps mentioning, there are a few areas of rotation that we're watching closely in case those need to be upgraded to tornado warnings. But we did want to hop on this stream because we have certain protocols that we look at for cutting into TV coverage. And that's usually a tornado warning. But these are impactful with the severes, so that's why we're on Facebook, YouTube, and the WHAS11 Plus app.
Watching this, there's two things that really stand out. One is the big bulge on the Boeing segment to the southwest. Look up in Indiana. Do a loop on that. All this heavy rain keeps falling on the same area from Jasper to English.
Yeah, anytime these go from west to east.
Torrential rainfall. So if you're in Jasper and English and Leavenworth and Sulphur, southern part of Orange County over to Palmyra, I would expect 2 inches of rain in the next hour, hour and a half.
Yeah. In fact, if I put...
oh, you got that magic button?
Yes. Precipitation rates. So obviously this is just a radar estimation. But anytime you see these pinks and purples, I mean, that's a few inches of rainfall per hour.
Look how it sets up here in the last 10 minutes right in there. See that little line?
John was mentioning this corridor here where storms are starting to train.
Very heavy rain. No softball for you tonight there in English and Corydon. A lot of rain moving in and very heavy. It's pushing. Look at those rates. Purple is never good on radar.
No, yeah.
Yep. Let me just take a look while you give them a synopsis.
Yeah, so what we're looking at here, once again, I know many people are probably in the Louisville metro here. You're likely starting to see some rain. We've had a few isolated downpours at times over the last hour or so, rolling through different parts of Jefferson County, but this is the bigger picture view. So we have rain that's heavy at times, some flooding concerns throughout southern Indiana, and then we have these few surges of winds that we keep talking about that just moved through Hardinsburg and are pushing off to the northeast into Meade County, into portions of Hardin County as well. And if we put this on velocity, these are the areas that we have to watch for not only strong, severe winds, but any kind of little notch of rotation there along the leading edge. As John mentioned, when you see the brighter velocities, obviously that means strong winds. We're seeing that near Lodeberg, it looks like, Freimeyer as well. And the kind of warning that they put on this is a severe thunderstorm warning, but they'll put these tags on here that mean tornado possible. And that means, you know, we don't have enough evidence to put a tornado warning on it, but there's strong winds, enough for a severe, and then there is a little bit of rotation that's possible here that could lead to a quick spin up. So that's the kind of scenario that we're watching here. And as we mentioned, this could be moving into the western portions of the metro a little bit after 8 o'clock, maybe 8:15, 8:20. So in addition, just torrential rainfall rates, lots of lightning with these segments of storms as well. You're seeing all the reds here, of course, on our map. So some very efficient rainfall producers in addition to the strong winds.
So folks in Breckinridge County, if you're west of Brandenburg on 144, definitely see some very strong winds moving into the area. Also on 477, it's the areas all west of Brandenburg. Look how that line, most of it is moving to the east. Notice that north part where the bright green color is. That is moving more north-northeast, showing the rotation from this old system that came out of Missouri from hours ago. That's the remnants of it. And that's the area that is really spinning. And if they were go tornado warning, that's where they're going to go. It's west of Brandenburg. I don't really have good town in there.
Yeah.
376. There we go. Freimeyer.
Freimeyer.
That's where the famous Freimeyer, the weather prediction guy, he's from there. I think they named it after him. That's Freimeyer. Yep. Breckinridge County.
Yep.
Look that name up. Anyway, that's all moving off to the northeast. That's the one area of all the area that really looks like they were going to go tornado warning. That's where they go. Another one is right there. Keep going. Right there. A little bit right in there. That would be east of High Plains. Also Breckinridge County, I think. Isn't it still Breckinridge?
Yes.
Okay,
the
barely.
The far
almost
eastern
in E-town.
edge.
Yep. The rest of the thing, if you're in Indiana, you know what you got? A lot of rain. Copious. It's all those rain songs. It is really raining hard all across north of 64.
Yeah. So those are the flash flood warnings once again that we have in effect. So we're watching obviously the bulging portions of these winds that are bowing out, but we're also watching, as we keep mentioning, the rainfall rates with what we're seeing here. So we wanted to hop on here and continue to show you the radar and what we're looking at warning wise, just to keep you updated. And know that we have a messy evening here for at least the next couple of hours as this races through Kentuckiana. So our active severe thunderstorm warnings in effect until about 7 p.m. Central Time, 8:15 Eastern Time. In fact, I can just put the warnings on here and take off the radar for a moment and show you what we're looking at. So this one, the one that's bowing out of Breckinridge County, moving into Hardin County, that one's moving very quickly, so I'm sure that will be extended. And then the next one off to the north until 8:15 Eastern, rolling through Meade County as we speak. Doesn't look like there's any additional ones up in southern Indiana. That one's the remnants of the stuff that was rolling through Perry County.
Yeah, the Indiana is not as threatening as it once was.
Turning into more of a heavy rain threat, it looks like.
So I looked at the FAA radar, and it's the one that's really showing out is this one that's almost on the Hardin line, right there where the counties meet.
Okay.
Right there. That was really showing more of a wind threat. This area right there is got wind and also got a small tornado threat near Freimeyer.
Heading toward Paineville.
Painville, okay.
Well, that's where it's heading, it looks like,
Yep.
on its current track.
So for the metro, you got plans in the metro? 100% chance it is going to be storming in about an hour.
Yes.
In the downtown. So 8:30, 8:40, somewhere in there. And that's all moving in. It's Bardstown. You're not going to exempt Mount Washington, Shepherdsville, the Floyd's Knobs, our friends over there in Sellersburg. It's all moving in, but it will not last long. We're going to get a respite here before, look at the back edge, already breaking up.
I mean, so that's the good news about this system here, is it's going to move in and out pretty quickly. We're obviously seeing some of that training in southern Indiana with the heavy rainfall that can lead to those localized flood threats. But this wind surge, being that it's pushing it so quickly, it's going to also allow it to push through very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be in the eastern counties by, I'll be gone by 9:30. 9:30, it'll be gone. Southern Indiana, I'm telling you, if you're along and north of Interstate 64, in our county seats, Jasper and English and Paoli, tremendous rain in that line that goes from basically Jasper over to English to just north of Corydon. A lot of rain, 2 inches. 2 inches, not good. So turn around, don't drown, please. Please, we do not want to do a story at 11 o'clock, someone who drove through a flooded stretch.
I know.
I'm telling you, it happens all the time.
Well, I mean, and even with the rain that we saw last night or this morning, especially, we had some heavy rainfall rates ponding on the roads. You mentioned Shelbyville Road this morning.
I came out of yoga, and all the streets on Old Shelbyville Road had at least 1.5 feet of water.
Yeah.
That's a problem. I called the weather service. They issued a flood advisory. I came home to my house. My little concrete ditch, it almost has it's always dry. Well, it was a moving.
Yeah, yeah. So efficient rainfall rates, we keep mentioning it. Of course, you could feel that moisture in the air today. The dew points are there. The moisture is there. Yeah. Now we're just watching these surges of winds.
And let's play a little offense here. I believe they're going to issue more severes. So they're going to go... so if you're E-Town, over to Fort Knox, West Point, they might issue one that goes right up to the Jefferson County line. A lot of times Louisville, where I was like, well, the thing of the policy in Louisville is we issue is one, they alert everybody. So even if we put the farthest southwest point in, so that they're going to be under severe. I guarantee it. Fort Knox, West Point, E-Town, before you know it, you're the next counties that get a severe thunderstorm warning. Let me just look at the radar real quick. The rotation is a little less than it once was by Freimeyer. If we go to the radar velocity, there it is. It's kind of broad. See, they're not next. The red and the green are not next to each other. But Freimeyer's getting a bunch of wind.
A lot of wind right now, right on the county line there, between Breckenridge County and Meade County.
Yeah.
So heads up Meade County, Brandenburg. We got some strong winds headed your direction.
Any towns in Meade we can give them? What have we got in there?
Painville.
Painesville, yeah. Brandenburg, you're getting it. I think the worst wind will be a hair north of you.
Mockport.
Yeah. Heading to the river.
Battletown.
These are places we mentioned Monday.
I know, unfortunately. So more strong winds on the way, torrential rainfall as well. A good night to hunker down, stay inside, watch some World Cup action or something.
That's where I would be. I love the France-Norway game today.
Yeah.
Just fabulous.
So lots of heavy rain.
That one's got more lightning. That one that's in, what is it, Harrison County. A lot of lightning in there, but you notice on the Boeing segment, not as much. Whereas the heavy rain axis, really, that just stands out. When you work radar, you just look at things really quick. The looping always shows you things you won't see if you're just looking at a still image. And you can see that line of very heavy rain in southern Indiana. You can also see that Boeing segment that's been flying out of, it's almost out of Breckenridge.
Yeah.
That's how fast it's moving. The Weather Service had 30 in the warning. I think it's 40.
It's moving a lot quicker.
Maybe even 42. It's definitely moving a little quicker. And next thing you know, you're going to be at 65. So if you're driving E-Town up to Shepherdsville, to Okolona, Fern Creek, our friends there, I'm telling you, you're going to get a lot of wind, and I would not want to drive in this. Yeah,
because wind, heavy rain, visibility lowers, you get ponding very quickly on the roads and interstates. There's a lot of lightning, as John mentioned, especially with that northern portion of the storm. So likely a loud storm rolling through Meade County right now. The lightning on the southern edge seems to be decreasing a bit. So that's some good news. We like to see that because that usually means the intensity might be decreasing a little bit as well.
It's already cleared Owensboro, so there is good news. We always going to give you some good news in the midst of this. Evansville, it's over. I mean, there's a little spritzers here and there, but in the big scheme of life, it's all really over. It's already cleared Tell City, but it's going to be here in the metro. Whether you're in Shepherdsville, Mount Washington, the Knobs, Fern Creek, Okolona, wherever you are, it's coming to you. And there's going to be in the metro right now, I'd say you're going to get a steady 30 to 45 mile an hour wind when it comes through. Now, this Boeing segment could cause a problem in the southern part of Jefferson County. We're still watching to see how that goes. That's almost out of their box. So I'm same plan for the southern Boeing Center. They're debating.
Okay. Do we have anything on, we have Mesonet here. Is anything, let's see.
The wind, 38.
Yeah,
38 in the
40.
one station and 40. Of course, that's at one point.
I know, that's always tricky. Mesonet's a great tool, but it has to hit that weather station specifically, which is tough. That's one portion of a county there.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's very tricky. These are called mini supercells and a little Boeing segment, and they're tricky and they're very hard to warn for because the surface is the key.
Right.
So we had all that. Mallory and I were on the phone earlier. We talked about the clouds this morning.
Right.
The rain and clouds we got from the early morning through lunchtime has really stabilized the lowest level.
thankfully we had that.
Which otherwise we would be on the air continuously with tornado warnings.
Right, so that certainly helped. Obviously these storms were able to overcome some of that. We were still able to destabilize a bit. I was seeing peaks of sunshine in Louisville.
A few of them,
late afternoon, early evening, and I was like, go away. Clouds need to come back. So that's why we're watching a few of these stronger storms, of course, this evening. At the very least, heavy rain, lightning, wind gusts headed your direction. If you have outdoor plans, of course, on this Friday evening, make sure you have a way to go indoors. I know we have church picnics across the area. Trust me, I was supposed to be at St. Martha this evening, but we are watching these storms and we want everybody to stay safe, of course.
Yeah, I saw a report in Du Bois County. They had over 4 inches of rain since this morning. That's since this morning.
Okay.
So, that's a lot of rain.
Yeah. You know how much rain we've gotten this month? Let's see.
Watch this. You're going to be impressed.
Way
She showed
too
me
much.
this on Whether or Not yesterday.
We're at over 7 inches. I don't think this includes today's either, because usually I have the almanac from yesterday.
You got to add that number.
Yeah. So we've more than doubled. If you feel like it's been rainy lately, that's because it has. More than 7 inches of rainfall and counting with this next surge that's coming through here. Now, this weekend, we're still tracking some scattered storm chances. We'll have another round, it looks like, coming through overnight. But that front tries to push down to the south tomorrow. We have one little wave Sunday from the west. And then next week, the big weather story is the heat.
The rain will end by noon on Sunday.
Yeah.
It's over.
So we're talking about heat and humidity next week. Of course, we've been touching on that. I'll just show the 7-day forecast quickly while, everybody's on here. In case you didn't catch it earlier this evening, highs in the 90s. Feels like temperatures in the triple digits. Went a little conservative actually with temperatures because of the wet ground. If we were in a drought, this would be even worse.
Very smart.
But humidity will be not enjoyable.
My friend Amy, who loves hot weather, you got your wish, Amy. You're going to be 95 to 97 degrees next week with high humidity. With look at those nighttime lows.
That's even worse.
I think those are worse.
Because you need that relief overnight. I like to open my windows.
I do too.
We've had some nice nights this week, especially with the low humidity. That goes out the window heading into
you can wear
4th of July. Yeah. So I just wanted to hit on that really quickly while we had everybody's attention.
Yeah. By Sunday morning, that's it. There's no rain in sight.
Yeah.
Which some of you say that's great. Your lawns will dry out faster than you think.
Very quickly. Yeah. With this high heat on the way. So let's get back to radar. That's why you guys are here, right? So we can zoom into what we're looking at, take the latest look at some of the data that we have rolling through.
Yeah, so the winds have definitely weakened. The one thing that really shows up is that spin that's just west of Mockport.
Yeah.
So that one little area. Look at on the reflectivity. You see it more on the reflectivity.
Okay, hold on.
Go to reflectivity. You'll see the little loopity.
Oh, yeah. I see it on yours.
Just west of Mockport. Where's Mockport?
Right there.
Yeah, there it is. Look at that little thing. She'll draw her arrows. You can see that. That is an area that could produce. If we had more sunshine earlier today, we would be really busy.
Yes, yes. So watching that surge, watching a little bit of that rotation there within the box.
They might just go special weather statement with 50 based on the winds I've seen in the last scan, which is a wonderful
what's
thing.
helping us out here is we've had storms that have tried to rotate, right?
Right.
But it's been shallow, and it's been with winds that aren't quite as strong as they could be. So if winds were stronger, we could be seeing a lot more of potential tornado warnings.
Yeah, so we always look at the atmosphere, the wind, the temperature, and profile, and you usually need about 30 knots of wind just between the surface and 1,000 foot to help this go, and it's only got about 18 to 20 miles an hour, and that's a little too low. So I don't know if we're actually going to get one. We don't want one.
No.
So
we were prepared in case.
we were prepared. That's
because
why
that's
we're
our
here.
jobs,
That's
right?
Our job. That's right.
But at the very least, trust me, this will still be impactful, even if they go special
very heavy
weather
rain into the
statement.
metro. So on the metro, the traffic map's going to look very ugly here very soon. So if you need to travel into the Louisville metro, you might want to just wait a little bit. This is all moving into the 65, between 65 and 64 up towards Corydon and that area. Ugh. A lot of heavy rain, and wind. Look at all that lightning too. 4th Street Live, go inside. Whatever the big picnics are that you were going to be, what picnics?
St. Martha, that was one today. I'm sure there are others too, because we always, summertime is it's Catholic picnic season here in Louisville. I love it, but it's always tricky this time of year because we either have a high heat or it seems like we have storms that. So make sure you still go if you were planning on it. Get their fish dinner. That's inside.
Get inside.
But make sure you have a way to get indoors.
You'll be in downtown Louisville about 8:40. It'll be gone in Louisville by 9.
Yeah.
Literally, this is a 20-minute annoying storm.
Yeah.
And then it will push off to the northeast. And I don't think they're issuing. I think they're issuing special weather statements past there. Let me see what they're doing. Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Okay.
They went SPS 55.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
So just shy of severe.
Based on the winds in the last few scans. If anything, the worst area, I still watch that little curly Q thing. Other than that, I think we're in a little bit of downtick right now.
Okay. We're going to watch this for a little bit longer just to make sure that that continues to be the case because this is rushing toward the metro. So we just want to make sure everybody is informed for your Friday evening plans, of course.
So they put the first special weather statement just up to the Louisville metro border with Bullitt County. I expect the weather, Louisville will get one too, maybe 50-mile-an-hour winds. The winds look a little less on the north side.
Okay. So yeah, anytime we talk about special weather statements, so those aren't, we don't have them included in our weather system here for on-air purposes. But basically it means it's just a hair shy of a severe storm, but it's still going to cause an impact. So it could be for winds that are 40 to 55 miles per hour. It could be for hail that's not quite severe status, which is a quarter.
Heavy rain.
Yeah, heavy rainfall, anything like that. That's what we mean by a special weather statement.
And in the winter, we put them out for freezing drizzle, which no one likes.
Oh, that's the worst kind of
It is
precipitation,
the worst
actually.
of all.
That is my least favorite. Was burned many times in Omaha with freezing drizzle.
Yes.
So, but yeah, what we're looking at here primarily, strong gusty winds, heavy rainfall. As John mentioned, there's a bit of a downtick with these storms as they march off to the east and northeast, which we like to see. I wonder if CAPE shows that at all. So this is, I think, surface CAPE that we have in our system. But basically, there's less to work with. Yeah.
The thing is, we had all that cloud debris this morning. I thought the worst would be 65 west, and I think you're going to see a decrease as it goes east of the interstate.
Yes.
Except for the heavy rain. Boy, does that stand out. Look at that radar loop. If you zoom in.
Jasper to English,
yeah,
Palmyra.
Look at the line of red, just the line of red.
This is just steady.
My assistant news director, Megan Lux, when I call it the line of red death. Anyway, this is all that red. That's very high precipitation. She showed you. Want to show that little button again?
Yeah, so
our rainfall rate button.
This is our precipitation rate.
Yeah, look at that. All that red line or purple line.
Yeah, if I query this, now this is all an estimation, but this is saying like 3 to 4 inches per hour. That's basically if it rained at the same rate for an hour straight.
And they already got rain twice earlier during this period. Once about 3 or 4 in the morning. The second one was about 10. I guarantee there's water problems in Orange, Crawford, help me out, Orange, Crawford, and maybe Corydon, maybe Southern
Harrison.
Orange. Yeah, Harrison, excuse me, yes.
Yeah. So these flash flood warnings would not be surprised if they continue to stretch eastward.
Yeah, that whole area. If you're basically in southern Indiana from Harrison County west to Du Bois, you've got water problems. Please, you probably know it if you have basement problems with your sump pump. Your sump pump sometimes cannot keep up with that rain.
Yeah, so this is also a radar estimated product here, but oranges, reds, you know, we were talking about Du Bois County, 4+ inches, so that's pretty much in line there. And then a heavier swath that just rolled into
all
Crawford
those little
County.
creeks and low spots, those low water bridge crossings. You don't need to be out. Seriously, if you're in Crawford County tonight, Du Bois, northern Perry, and the western part of Harrison, I would stay in and watch the World Cup or the main ABC program right now.
Yeah, something to just keep you indoors here.
Yeah, look at the lightning surge on that one. That's interesting. That's elevated. That's all off the surface. That is not going to bring down wind in Indiana. That's all heavy rain. And then our guy on the radar, I don't see anything on the velocities in the last. They did go SPS, like I told you.
Okay.
When I'll just let's see how high they go. I'm going to guess they went 50. Yeah, they went 5 less. Yeah. Yep.
For the northern?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that covers all the way from Washington County, Indiana, Clark County, Floyd County, Harrison, and the Louisville Metro. 50-mile-an-hour winds and very heavy rain. No hail. No hail tonight.
Yeah.
We don't need that.
Right. No hail with this. Wind, heavy rain, lightning, as John mentioned, becoming a bit more elevated there. Still a lot of lightning strikes rolling from Meade County toward Corydon. But really, in terms of impacts, some good news. Really, just since we've been on this stream for the last half hour.
Yeah, it's really weakening.
Weakening. Rotation is weakening.
But there's going to be a mess in the metro here.
Yeah.
It's already a mess on 64 in Indiana, west of us. It's coming into the metro. Very heavy rain. Bullitt County, Mount Washington, Shepherdsville, along the Salt River, all of Jefferson. Fort Knox, you're getting a tremendous amount of rain moving in any moment. And that webcam will be pretty dark here
This
soon.
will look a little bit different. Yeah.
Enjoy
here
that
soon.
picture right now because it will be changing soon.
Sometimes I like to pull up visibility
I like the
just in case.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when it's really heavy rain or heavy snow, it'll show up on visibility maps, especially if there's wind.
You get a manual observer at Fort Knox, so when it goes through Fort Knox, that's a really good thing to look at, yeah. So on the radar, I'm just looking. I don't see any rotation down to the surface. That's good. Yeah, it looks like a wind. Really, the big thing is heavy rain. I think wind is secondary right now. All across our northern part of our coverage area, anywhere from the parkways north. Very, very heavy rain. It's almost on you, E-Town. You got about 5 minutes. Your friends in E-Town, Vine Grove, Radcliffe.
Heading towards 65
65 will not be pleasant. Pull off at the 93-mile marker. Give yourself a quick break because it's going to be pouring on 65 before you know it in E-Town.
Yeah. I'm going to pull up some cameras here because it is raining in Louisville, even though we're not seeing the heaviest just yet, but showers are increasing in coverage here. So that's 71 at Frankfort Avenue, 264 at River Park Drive. You have 64 at Cannons Lane in the upper left-hand corner, and also the Gene Snyder at 64. So expect this to become messier over the next hour as the heaviest rain does roll into Louisville here. So rainfall rates will pick up. We'll have some gustier winds as well, so that can limit visibility, cause ponding on the roads, things of that nature. But if you're just now hopping onto this stream, you saw it on Facebook, YouTube, or you just saw the notification pop up on your phone. Once again, Chief Meteorologist Mallory Schnell here alongside by Meteorologist John Gordon, who's busy at work. No, it's okay. We have a lot of things that we look at as meteorologists.
I'm going to see a chiropractor going up and down.
Yeah. And also something that we do want to point out anytime, including tonight, but anytime we have severe weather, if you ever have reports, so tree damage, anything like that, pictures would be even better if you could send them our direction so we can send them to the National Weather Service, because that's how they know where the strongest storms roll through. Obviously, we have the radar data, but it certainly helps to have ground truth.
Southern Indiana, if you have flooding in your yard, call us at the newsroom or send in reports too.
Yeah, you can send them to me, Schnell at WHAS11.com. You can comment on this stream on my Facebook page, Meteorologist Mallory Schnell. Many different ways to do so. Our number is on our website, WHAS11.com. But yeah, if you notice that streets are starting to flood and you're not under a flash flood warning just yet, contact us, contact the National Weather Service. always beneficial. Okay, we can go back to the radar here because once again, we're tracking these storms. Here's the Louisville Metro. So rainfall is picking up over Jefferson County and just over the river into southern Indiana as well. Once again, nothing severe for us right now, just some moderate rainfall. Off to the west, though, take a look at what's rolling out of Brandenburg heading toward Corydon, and this will be moving into the west side of the Louisville Metro here soon. Some steady rainfall rates there. And as we mentioned, some gusty winds, though they are below severe limits at this time. So we were watching for a few of these leading edges for any kind of rotation that was trying to occur. But as we mentioned, winds just haven't been strong enough. Rotation's been somewhat shallow with the storms tonight, which is all good news because if it were stronger, then we would have to see some tornado warnings issued. But currently, no severe thunderstorm warnings since this is now basically outside of the box here. The one that we still had in place for portions of Meade County for the active severe warning. So we just have gusty winds rolling through, heavy rainfall, frequent lightning. Just kind of a messy evening across Kentuckiana. And down to the south, some heavy rain that's rolling from Sonora through Radcliffe, moving into Fort Knox right now. It's basically right over the radar that we have there between Fort Knox and West Point. So anytime you see reds, obviously you know that's torrential rainfall. Rain stretches down to Mumfordville and then up all throughout our southern Indiana counties. You can see obviously oranges and reds. So steady, heavy rain. We have active flash flood warnings. As we always mention, turn around, don't drown. Those flash flood warnings are in effect from Du Bois County over to Crawford County into Orange County and down to Tell City as well. So this is until 9:30 Central Time or 10:30 Eastern Time, just due to the rain that we've already seen and more rain falling on top of it. But as John and I mentioned before, would not be surprised to see more of these flash flood warnings issued.
Yeah, I was just looking at the rainfall. If you want to look, can you do a 1 hour? I don't know if you can do a 1 hour. But the one
yes,
I was looking at the 1 hour, and Washington County, Indiana, does not have a flash flood warning. And I just got a report of some higher water in. I sent it to the Weather Center. There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, reports of some higher water there. So if you have reports, there's a creek that goes through town there that is always problematic in beautiful Salem. So you might need to be under some kind of a flood thing, so don't drive through any bad high water, okay? All right, as far as wind goes, do you want to track this Boeing segment getting into the metro? We can do a track and we can go through that. I don't see any rotation in there.
Like this right here? Okay.
Yep.
How quick is this moving, do we think? 40 still?
I like 35 to 40.
Okay. I can put that on here. Putting a track on this storm. That's rolling into the metro here soon. So Louisville, which would be downtown, around 8:40.
There you go. Yeah, this is going to be a mess in the metro. Traffic cameras will not be pretty. This is all going to affect the metro, whether you're in the Knobs, you're in Sellersburg, you're in Corydon, all between Corydon and Shelbyville. The whole metro is getting it. Shively, PRP, Valley Station, Okolona, Fern Creek. 8:30, 8:40 coming to you. Guess what? It's coming to you, Mount Washington, Shepherdsville. It's coming to you. E-Town, it's on you. I think it finally has come. So all this heavy rain is moving in there. And notice there's a dramatic change to the west of Du Bois County and west of Tell City. We will have a big break. This is a short-lived event, but southern Indiana is really the story right now. An hour ago, we were watching possible tornado warnings across Breckinridge County. And the heavy rain, look at that line of red in southern Indiana, almost lined up along 64, just north of there. And a lot of lightning coming in too. So folks, if you're in Corydon, over to Sellersburg, PRP, Valley Station, a lot of lightning moving in. That's a little ominous on a Friday evening at 8 o'clock. So that's the big story. Heavy rain in Indiana, a wind coming into the metro. 8:40, 4th Street Live. It will be raining while you're going to your favorite beverage.
Yes, and we do have flood watches in effect, so for good reason, obviously, because of the rainfall rates that we're seeing here. The northern half, this is basically Louisville into southern Indiana. This takes us overnight into tomorrow morning, mainly for this wave that we're seeing right now, but we could have some more scattered activity overnight, so that just kind of gives you that big swath there until 8 a.m. And I know it's hard to tell, but there's kind of two separate
It's a
warnings
double
here.
flood watch, which is a pained issue. If you're the person doing this, it's not easy.
So because tomorrow, the front that's kind of allowing these waves of showers and storms to roll through here starts to sink a little bit more to the south. And as it does so, the best threat for some heavier downpours tomorrow will be down to the south. So that's why there's another flood watch from 2 a.m. Saturday until 2 a.m. Sunday for our counties south of Louisville, down through the parkways. And if I take the latest look at the HRRR here, let's see how things have been going. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not good. It has a pretty broken line here. I actually realized hold on, give me just a second.
Well, yeah, so
While you do that, you can chat.
All right, so the deal is heavy rain continues. I'm looking at almost 3 inches per hour in Du Bois County, from Huntingburg over to English in Crawford County. The wind threat, once again, while Mallory's pulling up, Milltown, Corydon, West Point. It's on you, Fort Knox, right on the post by the BX. And there is one area that we need to watch right here, if you don't mind. We need to watch that area, which is west of Lebanon Junction, east of Radcliffe. That is that's an area that is rotating. And that's the kind of stuff that produces tornadoes. So let's just take a quick look there if you don't mind.
Yep.
See where I am?
So this is west of Lebanon, where that little notch is.
Right there. There's your little arrows. That's the kind of stuff that produces tornadoes. So I guarantee the Weather Service is sweating, going, oh my good gracious. If you look there's 1 pixel of outbound too. There. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff we need to watch. I think it's probably off the surface. I'm not saying we're going to get a tornado warning. That's the kind of stuff that we have to watch. It's very hard to pick up, and my eyes can still see this, believe it or not. But this is moving off to the east-northeast. So, folks, that's part of the
going into Bullitt County.
Yeah, we're getting to Bullitt County, right? Yeah, do you mind tracking that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just track that. That one caught my eye. Those are the ones that just drive you nuts.
East-northeast, sort of. Let's see.
Got a few trees down across Meade County. We just got that report from the Meade County 911. That's when they had that 50, 55 mile an hour thing out. Yeah, that one right there. There you go. I think
that's a good angle.
I think that's very good. Okay. Yep.
All right, so Pitts Point 819, Bardstown Junction 824, Zoneton Middle School 824, Claremont 827, Mount Washington 839.
This is the terminal Doppler, and it definitely still shows it right there. So that is one area that we are here. That's why we're here, to try to help you out. So it's going to be in. It's coming out of Hardin. It's probably in Bullitt right now, as it's moving off to the east-northeast. And it's very hard to pick out. You have to
this doesn't really show it too well.
Yeah,
probably because it's right on the radar. But
it's right on the radar. You got to go up higher on the elevation. Yep, right in there. That's one area that really stands out.
Yeah, so anytime we get these kind of bowing segments and then little notches, you'll hear us talk about notches, nubs, any kind of change there in the line, and we have to watch that for any kind of signs of rotation. Thankfully, winds have been hopefully sub-severe, but still getting reports, as John mentioned earlier, of some trees down in Meade County. Of course, the ground is very saturated. Doesn't take as strong of a wind gust to kind of blow some trees around them and potentially uproot some trees as well. So we're still seeing steady rainfall, more so in southern Indiana. That's what we're really paying attention to there. Some gusty winds that are blowing through Harrison County, moving into Valley Station here soon, and we'll continue northeastward into Louisville. And then those few areas that John was watching down through Hardin County, moving into Bullitt County as well. So no active warnings on those. Those are just areas that we're paying attention to here at WHAS. And in terms of active warnings, once again, primarily flash flood warnings currently in southern Indiana. And we expect more of those to continue to be issued because these rainfall rates are just very high. We're seeing precipitation rates 3-4 inches per hour if they continue to rain at the rate that they are raining. So that's when you tend to see rain kind of pile up very quickly and cause some issues in terms of ponding on the roads and localized flooding. Creeks and streams, I'm sure, are flowing fast and high here, and we still have more of that heavy rainfall that's currently moving through Du Bois County and will continue on this track, it looks like, through English, Palmyra, Sellersburg as well, with this surge of lightning currently rolling through Corydon. So those are the main lightning areas north of E-Town and also moving through Harrison County right now.
Okay, so once again, the two main areas of concern is that lightning surge just west of Louisville and the heavy rain that goes out to the west towards English and Sulphur on Interstate 64. Second area is that little weakening Boeing segment, but it does have a couple little areas where it's trying. I don't think it can because I think the wind's too low and the surface, we didn't get enough instability today.
Right.
But that really got our attention. Otherwise, we would have some spinnies tonight. That earlier round really, Mallory mentioned that if you've been watching HAS, Mallory mentioned that the morning round may save us, and I think it is saving us.
Yeah, that's always beneficial when we have multiple rounds. You know, it can make for a mess of a morning, but it tends to take away some of that fuel for the afternoon. We were still on the fence, though, if these storms could kind of power through that because they were trying.
I saw a little sun today. I'm like, no!
I know. Go back behind the clouds. We never like to see that because we don't want the atmosphere to recover. We don't want it to destabilize. And we're in the time of year where we have a lot more daylight. So our sunset is so much later.
That's right.
So the atmosphere has more time to destabilize before some of these nighttime rounds. So that's something that we always have to pay attention to. And something that I'm sure is noticeable for everybody is the amount of moisture in the air. So our dew points, that is a measurement of your humidity. And we have dew points in the 70s, which is humid to tropical. And that's what these storms are really tapping into. I'm sure you felt it if you've been outside at all today. So we've been mentioning the heavy rainfall rates and you know, the flooding concerns that we're seeing throughout southern Indiana. And that's pretty much our main concern right now. Louisville, we have some heavy rain that's moving into Valley Station here momentarily.
Yeah, there it is, the Metro.
So here we go.
The Metro, Valley Station, PRP, down to West Point, over to Fairdale, Fern Creek, Okolona. The whole county's getting it. Look at that red coming in.
Yeah.
It's going to be just joyful on 4th Street Live in about 20 minutes. A lot of heavy rain moving in. The webcams will really show it here soon. Any of the cameras looking off to the west. Got any of interest?
I might have to move some of them around. I can maneuver them a little bit.
She has the power, folks.
I do have
That's
the power.
how much power she has.
Let me actually try to pull up a few different ones.
While she's doing that, I'll show you. Keep the radar loop going there. Look at that red coming out of to the west. There you go, beautiful. That Boeing area will be moving in. It's already in the southwestern part of the county. Look at that. Look to the southwest. Yeah.
So you can tell visibility is not great right now.
It's going to get worse, unfortunately. Please drive safe. Let me look at some of the traffic.
If you want to go.
Can you mind?
Yeah.
Thank you.
He's going to go back to his station. So
I'm going back to where I belong.
No, it's fine. Just so he can look at his radar that he has back there and a few other things. But I'm looking at some of our cameras here, pulling up. Obviously, it's, at this point, heavy rainfall, gusty winds, frequent lightning in some areas as well. U of L campus camera, I'm just kind of rotating through them, which you'll see on your screen here. So just a kind of a messy evening unfolding across Kentucky. And SBC, sorry, I'm also reading this stuff in the chat. Or sorry, SPS, my bad.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I was just looking at National Weather Service chat. It's hard to read and talk at the same time. So heavy rain rolling into the Louisville Metro as we speak, some gusty winds as well, and some lightning, especially through Corydon right now. So expect whatever plans that you had outdoors, you're going to be forced indoors here for a little bit. Now, as John and I mentioned, this is at least moving pretty quickly. We do have, you know, a back end of this. So Jasper, English, and areas off to the east have been getting, you know, that training, that movement of storms moving over the same areas from west to east. But you'll notice here some drier time on the backside, and anything on the backside becoming much more scattered in nature. So this will be a quick push through here, and then hopefully a little bit more dry time through the late evening into the early overnight hours. So Main threats, heavy rainfall, gusty winds, some lightning, especially with the line that's moving through Corridon right now, but nothing severe. If that's what you're hopping on for, we were watching a few areas of potential rotation that were concerning. It's just hard for these storms to really strengthen and get going.
Okay, so let's just take a look, make sure there's no rotation. Okay, storms, let me draw this on mine. Storms continue to really come into the metro. Anywhere, 65 is an unpleasant drive right now, period. So I don't care if you're in Henryville, Memphis, down to Charlestown, to the Louisville metro, and it's just gonna pound all the areas from the 93-mile marker down in E-Town, all the way up to Louisville. Of course, some of the metro is closed on 65, and then it will continue to be ugly as you go up to the north into Indiana. None of it is severe at this moment, thank goodness. But the heavy rain, also see a little bit of a wind surge in far southeastern Harrison County, right near the Jefferson County, Louisville metro right now. Mallory's zooming in there. That looks like about 40-mile-an-hour wind to me.
Okay.
Right there around, what town
Moving toward Valley Station?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And PRP?
Yes, that's it. 64 is a mess. Also, if you're going westbound, all the way from Louisville, all the way till you get to the Ferdinand exit there when you go up to the Abbey. West of there, yeah, there's a few things, but nothing like you see right now. That's really the end. This is moving off to the east-northeast. It's not moving as fast as it was an hour ago. It was moving at 40. I think we're down to about 30, 35 miles an hour. And very heavy rain, and the webcams will continue to show a deteriorating conditions into the metro right now. Flash flood warnings, Du Bois, Perry, Crawford, and Orange. I would also be worried in Salem. I think Salem, you may have some water problems up there. Please don't drive through a bad stretch of road with water on it ever. No. Turn around. Don't drown. Don't drown.
And you'll hear us say that time and time again for good reason. We talk about heat and then flooding in terms of the highest weather-related fatalities, and half of flooding fatalities occur in the car. So it does not take much to drift you away, for your car to be taken away in fast-moving waters, especially, you know, it's 8:20, so we still have some of that daylight. But once it gets dark here and you still have standing water on the roads, that can be a major problem as we head to bed tonight. And that's why we do have some flash flood warnings in place and also the flood watch until tomorrow morning. So the current flash flood warnings are just for Du Bois, Orange, Crawford, and down to Perry counties. And this takes us through, I believe, about 10 o'clock Central Time, or Eastern Time, excuse me, 10 o'clock Eastern Time. And we'll see if they continue to be extended eastward based on these rainfall rates here.
Okay, so if you go to my computer really quick on my ROI, I can show you something. So there's two areas in Harrison County that's got the strongest wind of all. On Mike's, you can zoom in too if you can't get it. Yeah. It's near Elizabeth, the Valley Station. Looks like a 40, 45 mile an hour swath. Then you go about 15 miles northwest, Crandall, up to the county line. Also showing about 40, 45 miles an hour wind. The good news is if you go south of there, this stuff along the velocities that we were worried about maybe an hour ago, they're nothing. Yeah. Nothing. They've really deteriorated. We just have a big area of heavy rain. I'll draw the line again. Here we go. Right in there. All in there. We're looking at, that goes from Hardinsburg to Galena, into the western part, PRP, down toward west of Mount Washington, down east of Elizabethtown. Very heavy rain. Moving off to the east-northeast. And what's really good to see is the type of rain you see behind it. Litchfield, Irvington, Hardinsburg. That's just a plain old typical stratiform light rain, light to moderate rain. Big change in Kentucky. Kentucky is definitely getting better west of Hardin County. Indiana's still a mess. All those counties, let's go through them. Du Bois, Perry, Crawford, Orange, Washington, and Harrison. Very, very heavy rain. That's actually extending further east into Floyd County, Clark County, and I'm going to even give you Scott County. A lot of heavy rain. Indiana is unpleasant right now with moderate to heavy rain. I don't think there's evening softball practice tonight.
Yeah, not a nice night to be outdoors if you can help it. Rain is picking up here in the Kentuckiana viewing area, specifically for Louisville. You're seeing that here on the TriMark cameras. So where I have the weather impact alert, that's 64 at Cannons Lane. We have 264 at River Park Drive, the Gene Snyder at 64 and 71 at Frankfort Avenue. So noticing that speeds are decreasing on these interstates, as they should be. Everybody's lights are on, it looks like. Make sure you are driving smart if you have to be out on the roads, and likely going to start to see some of the ponding on the roads because, you know, here in Louisville, unfortunately, we don't have the best drainage. It is urban, so we have some typical trouble spots that tend to allow water to pool up pretty quickly. So make sure you are safe if you're out driving because these rainfall rates, they are quick and fast. They are piling up pretty quickly here, so we do have lots of oranges and reds rolling into the west side of Louisville right now, Valley Station, heading toward PRP and Shively, up to Lanesville, Georgetown, heading toward Floyd's Knobs, New Albany. Lots of this red here, up to Palmyra, and then down to the south from there, Shepherdsville, basically all along 65, down to Lebanon Junction, and areas southward. And as we keep mentioning, some of these little notches that we see on radar, if we had a better environment, this would be a different picture, it looks like. But just seeing some gusty winds along with it, heavy rainfall, some lowered visibility at times, just kind of messy if you have to be out Friday evening. So thankfully, I'm not seeing any power outages on poweroutage.us, at least for our Kentucky counties. I believe there are just a few in Indiana. In Perry County, 160 customers. And then, once again, we got some reports of some sporadic trees down, high water in Salem, and gusty winds. Gusty winds, heavy rain.
Yep, right now, the stuff in Kentucky, we'll do Kentucky first. So basically south of the metro, Bullitt across 65, Shepherdsville, Lebanon Junction, yeah, it's a mess there on the interstate by the truck stop, the Love's truck stop there, down to E-Town. This is all moving. Who's next? Bardstown, you're next. Mount Washington, New Haven, Loretto. Our friends in Lebanon and Springfield, Bloomfield, up to Shelbyville, Simpsonville, Eminence. Our friends in Henry County and Newcastle, up to Campbellsburg. 71, unpleasant drive as well. Really, all the interstates appear to be an unpleasant drive at this time. I bet you on the traffic cameras, you bet you're going to see some slowdowns in the metro. I don't know if you're able to pull that up. But
yeah. I took a look at that earlier.
I wouldn't be surprised. There's some slowdowns in Floyd, Jefferson, Harrison, maybe up on 65, up towards Austin, Vienna, Henryville exits, Memphis, all in there. Once again, the pivoting of the rain. Boy, it's raining out there in Port Crawford County, Perry County, southern Orange, southern Washington counties in Indiana, and Floyd. Boy, is it raining hard in Floyd County, right? In the Knobs, Georgetown, just east of Lanesville, New Albany, all in there. Very heavy rain as you're going. If you're taking 64 or 265, coming off the interstate, 64, pretty unpleasant right now. No major wind threat I see, except that maybe 35-mile-an-hour winds near Palmyra to Georgetown, over to Galena. I think that's really your only wind threat right now. I think the tornado threat is almost zero. An hour ago, I would have said 5%. It has changed dramatically. This is now a very heavy rain threat in the 65 corridor. On a Friday night. I'm sure this is not what everyone planned who had picnics going tonight and events.
Right. Yeah, it's always unfortunate when we get this time of year. You wish that it would just rain midweek and then give us some nice
I
weekends,
agree.
you know?
I'd rather be at the picnic right now.
Right. The beautiful weather that we had, what days was that? Wednesday?
Yes.
Tuesday, Wednesday?
Wasn't that
Yes,
nice?
Tuesday and Wednesday.
That was lovely.
It'd always be nice if that could
Low
line
dew
up for the
points.
weekend, but
Oh,
unfortunately, this is what we're dealing with, and that's why we're here. So just heavy rainfall, once again, for anybody hopping on this stream late. This is what's rolling through Kentuckiana right now. We don't have any active severe thunderstorm warnings, which is great news. We haven't had to have any tornado warnings. As John mentioned, when we hopped on this stream, Around 7:30, we were watching a few areas that were trying to weakly rotate. You were seeing the reds and greens next to each other on velocity, and it was just hard for these storms to continue to strengthen and get going here. We had the waves of rain earlier in the day. That always helps because it wears out the atmosphere a little bit, takes more time for it to destabilize later. And we were seeing some peaks of sunshine earlier, which typically allow the atmosphere to destabilize. But as these storms have been moving east and kind of merging together, we have this swath of rain that's been moving through southern Indiana and the bowing segments in Kentucky. That certainly helps weaken it somewhat. That's not to say you won't still have gusty winds outside, torrential rainfall. You know, it doesn't take severe weather to be impactful weather, and we are certainly seeing that this evening with torrential rainfall and also some lightning, gusty winds. So we can still see some sporadic.
And I got reports of power outages, just really quick. So southern Harrison County, about 130.
Okay.
Between, well, it's north of Brandenburg. It's in the southern part of the county. Southern part of the county. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
FYI.
Good to know. Yeah, so there might be some sporadic power outages, some sporadic tree damage. Once again, we have very saturated grounds. So with that, it doesn't take nearly as much for there to be tree damage. Some strong winds can kind of blow things over as the grounds are more saturated here. So watching some gusty winds rolling through the Louisville metro. Just got word that they might go severe.
Whereabouts?
It says for the Louisville metro.
Really? Well, he's got a report of it. I saw that from somebody else put up the 50-mile-an-hour winds.
50-mile-per-hour wind gusts.
But it didn't say, was it measured? They never answered, did they?
Eyeballing.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Let me look at the radar, the terminal Doppler, and I'll tell you, that's usually the best friend in the world. And the velocities, I think they're 40. We'll see what they're going to do. I think you're going to get 40-mile-an-hour winds. The worst of the wind right now in the metro. Let me get you the current velocity on my screen. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, producer. Jordan's great. All right. So PRP, Shively, 40, 45-mile-an-hour winds. And where is that heading? That is actually heading into the west end and into the downtown. So I think that will be here in about 4 minutes. So if, the camera, on Mallory's camera, I bet you're going to see a drastic change. They did go severe. Okay, we'll see if we get any damage. It looks like to me 40, and we'll go near the airport. We'll see what the airport carries. I bet you they'll carry in the mid-40s. But it is the metro. It is a Friday night. It's moving into the downtown area. That will also go into southern Clark. So if you're in Jeffersonville and Clarksville, Oak Park, Mallory can track that out for you. But right now, the strongest winds continue to be right almost on top of Shively.
Shively, yeah. So this, if we go back to my screen, there we go, thank you. This yellow box that you're seeing, that's your severe thunderstorm warning. They issued it through 9 p.m. and you'll notice the movement of it. So it starts near Shively and gets pushed off to the northeast. And I can actually put a tracker on this. Do we think these are still moving 40 miles per hour?
I think 40 miles an hour is a good number. Let's
put a cone on this and I can give you an idea. So strongest winds right now are right around Shively and on its current track. It's moving into downtown around 8:43. Jeffersonville, Indiana at 8:49. Utica at 8:55. Prospect here in Kentucky, 8:58. River Bluff at 9. And 9:05 Charlestown. So we don't have any ground truth of it gusting that high.
A lot of people estimate winds very interestingly. I've had people swear they had 100-mile-an-hour winds, and I checked and I found 48 miles an hour. So that's why we like anemometers. Anemometers, what a beautiful gift.
Yes.
So we're about to see the anemometer at the Louisville International Airport, and we'll see what the winds actually are.
Yeah. So regardless, you know, even if it's 40, 45, even up to 50, trees can blow around.
You bet.
We keep talking about how saturated it is. Once again, we've had more than 7 inches of rainfall this month, most of which in the last couple of weeks. And so your ground is quite wet.
And Doug and I were laughing, but this is once again another garbage tote problem. So
Yes.
They do go flying around. Trampolines go flying around. Radford pears don't like this either.
Yeah.
None of these could all be a problem. And it's into the metro at 8:30 on a Friday night. It's just
yeah, not ideal.
not ideal. I feel sorry for all the picnics that are going on that have to take evasive action.
Yeah, head indoors for a bit while this passes. We still have rain on the backside. So anytime you look at, a leading edge of something, that's typically where your strongest winds are. And that's what we're seeing right now moving into Louisville. So these little segments that are rolling through right now with the surge of wind. And this is also what we've been seeing with kind of this curly-ish queue rolling through Bullitt County, heading into Nelson County, eventually over to Spencer County. Anytime you see leading edges like that, that's where usually your strongest winds are. And as we saw earlier, if you ever have bowing segments, those are typically very strong winds. So not as strong as it was, thankfully, as it kind of gets sucked up with the rain that we're seeing in southern Indiana. But once you get past that main surge of wind, you're mainly dealing with just some steady rainfall that can lead to the localized flooding threats that we're seeing.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look at the odds while you're doing that.
You're good, you're good. Let's talk through the flash flood warnings that we still have in place. I want to talk about that because we always say turn around, don't drown. We want you to take those seriously. So these are our active warnings right now. This was a new one, I believe. This one for Corydon. So this includes Harrison County. So this was a new, flash flood warning for Harrison County, Indiana until 11:15. Heavy rainfall, obviously, so we can see flash flooding, small creeks and streams, urban areas, highways, streets, underpasses, poor drainage areas. If you live in a certain community over time, you get to know those areas that tend to flood a little bit quicker than other spots in town. So try to avoid those if at all possible. We also have the flash flood warning in effect for Crawford County, up to Orange County, over to Du Bois County, and into Perry County as well. So that's what I just kind of clicked on here to show you the information with all the green polygons that we're seeing, and then the one severe warning. This is stretching from Shively up through all the areas that are kind of encompassed in the Waterson, and then off to the east, including Prospect, over to Sellersburg, down to Clarksville, Jeffersonville, New Albany.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the latest odds. The top of the hour had 9 miles an hour at the airport. I'm seeing what they carried on there was a special goes through. We'll have an answer in mere moments. It's almost on top of them.
Yeah, it's pretty much moving over the airport.
Right now, we should get an obs here momentarily.
And I mentioned this earlier, if you have any damage reports, send them our direction. We would love to let the National Weather Service know as well. Photos are great. Just give us a location and you can send them to us. And I'll actually pull up how you can send your storm photos here as well. Give me just a moment. Because we always like to see your storm photos, and if you can do so safely, of course, that's always our biggest thing. But you can send weather photos and videos anytime, and it doesn't have to be during just bad weather, but during active weather, we like to know it for ground truth. So we can also forward it on to the National Weather Service if there are damage areas that they need to survey. But you can text those photos to us at 502-582-7290. You can upload them through the WHAS11 app on your phone. You can email them to us at yourphotos@WHAS11.com. And we also have a Facebook group. It's called the Kentucky Indiana Cloud Watchers. You do have to request to be included because you need to be from the Kentucky or Indiana area. But that's a great place to share storm photos and also just nice weather photos when the weather's quiet as well. We use these not only during newscasts, but also during our weekly weather streaming show, Weather or Not. We always like to highlight some weather photos and videos that you all send in. So if you have any damage, let us know, and we'll let the National Weather Service know as well. But right now we're tracking heavy rainfall, gusty winds, frequent lightning. We have a few new flash flood warnings that are being issued. It looks like we have one now just out for Washington County, Indiana. So as John mentioned, he was getting reports of standing water in Salem. So that's the reason for that. As we mentioned before, this is kind of filling in from west to east with the flash flood warnings. That's still our biggest threat tonight. Heavy rain that can lead to flash flooding. So please be cautious. Wind is secondary, but we are seeing some gusty winds at times that can cause some limited visibility in conjunction with the heavy rainfall, and can also lead to, some tree damage, some sporadic power outages, things of that nature.
Yeah, I've been looking. I mean, there's 50 knots of wind, or that's about 58 miles an hour, at about 1,100, 1,200 foot off the thing. But I'll be curious. How's that? Curious. I'll be curious to see if that translates down to the surface. I see the winds that the Weather Service are issuing that new severe. The airport 11 minutes ago measured 11 miles an hour. I'm waiting to see if there's a newer obs. They have a way to look at it quicker than me. I sent them a note. I haven't seen it yet because it's right there. If you're at Ali International, you may have a slight delay due to lightning and a little bit of wind at the airfield as they're taking off to the south on one of the parallel south runways. That's moving off to the northeast. I'm not sure. The air mass is pretty stabilized. I would not be surprised you still get some a few limbs, large limbs down and everything else, but we'll see how this plays off as it goes up. I'm going to look at the...
Yeah, there's a special weather statement also for portions of, it looks like eastern Bullitt County, heading toward Bardstown as well. You can kind of see that on velocity here, rolling through Nelson County, Cox's Creek, and up to Spencer County. So certainly gusty winds. We're not saying there's not gusty winds. It's just questionable whether or not they're reaching the, quote, severe limits that we see
fair enough.
At the surface. So
definitely, in my mind, you're getting 40, 45 mile an hour winds basically near the airport, and that's moving off to the northeast. There is a lot of wind off the surface. There's no question about it. I'm waiting to see, did the airport give me a new obs? Not yet. Okay.
There is a little bright bit on velocity between Germantown and Audubon Park. You see that right there? So.
Yep, right there. If you're in St. Matthews, definitely see a surge of wind. We'll see how high it goes. Definitely don't be outside right now. And very heavy rain as this moves off to the northeast. That's the one that really stands out. The rest of it looks like 40 to 50 mile an hour winds. Once again, if you're in Bardstown, our friends in Bardstown, you're going to get a bunch of wind very, very soon. Up there on 150 as you go north, Bardstown Road. Yeah, it looks like about 40, 45 mile an hour winds there as well.
Yeah, decent surge.
See that? Yeah. Once again, is it getting down to the surface? I'm waiting to see some observations.
Yeah, we always like to know that ground truth, right? But it looks like some gusty winds, as John mentioned, heading toward St. Matthews here soon. That could continue into the Prospect area as well if it continues on its track into northeast Louisville there. So we keep mentioning, I don't know, Jordan, if you can pull up one of the cameras outside to take a look at the rain falling here in downtown Louisville, because it should be coming down at a decent clip right now.
Which, if you pick a cam that's going to the south,
you're supposed to be able to see downtown Louisville.
There you go. There's the camera we're talking about.
Yeah, visibility is pretty bad.
It's a bit ominous.
So yeah, visibility not great.
Yeah.
I know Friday nights you probably don't want to stay indoors, but this is not good travel weather.
Yeah, and you're in the Highlands. It's kind of unpleasant right now. St. Matthews, all across the east side into Butchertown, going into Melwood, the beautiful areas around the Melwood down into Clifton. Very heavy rain and some 40, possibly 50 mile an hour winds as this slides. And before you know it, that is going to be up in you Prospect and you Goshen and you in Utica there at the quarry and then up on 71.
Yep.
So that whole thing is pivoting. We said about 8:30, 8:40. Well, by golly, what time is it? The heavy rain's in downtown Louisville.
8:42.
That was Mallory's tracker.
That was really good. And that's because we said, hey, it's moving quicker than the warnings say. And it was. So right now, yes, we still have this severe thunderstorm warning for caution until 9 p.m. Eastern. That's cutting right through the metro. But as we mentioned, that gustiest wind that I was seeing on velocity was around Germantown there in Audubon Park and pushing off to the east, heading toward Clifton, St. Matthews area. It already looks weaker, but heading into the northeast side.
We got a couple reports here in chat. You want to read them?
Sure. Yeah. Large tree down. This is Feathering Gill Road. That's in Floyd County, Indiana.
That's 150.
US 150. Yeah. And then for Clark County, Indiana, caller reports water over the road, 1791 West Water Street. Oh, in Borden.
Yep. Yep.
That's ironic that it's on Water Street, unfortunately.
I know. I thought the same thing.
I was just like, oh boy.
So it'll be interesting to see. This is going through a very dense thing. If they don't get reports, I know what they're going to do. The next one for, if you're in Oldham and Clark, they're going to issue a special weather statement for 40 to 45 mile an hour winds. They need ground truth.
Yep.
And I keep checking the airport. Sometimes there's a delay on all these sites, so it's possible there could have been one, but I haven't seen one since. A lot of times, folks, when their airport measures all these things for pilots and aviation, and when it gets above or below a certain threshold, it issues what's called a special for wind, for visibility, a lot. Visibility is really key in aviation, whatever it is, and they have not issued one since 26 after the hour, 8:26. So
Yeah.
my sense is the air mass and the surface may be too stable. So my guess is there's a lot of 40s in here, and that one little surge that Mallory's pointing on her map, the one that is now
Over
where is it?
Bardstown Road? Or
Yeah, but
passing
it's
Bardstown
in the
Road?
Highlands.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, that one
I was
in
looking
Louisville.
at the one down in
Yeah, in
Nelson
Louisville.
County.
In Louisville, it's over there in St. Matthews. St.
Yeah, St.
Matthews,
Matthews.
Indian Hills, another beautiful area. Northfield, all in there. I think you're getting a lot of 40-mile-per-hour stuff. But the thing you're really going to notice, you're going to tell your friends, boy, did it rain like a Dickens here. You know, a friend of mine says it's a frog strangler. So
I've heard that as well. I don't know if that's a southern thing,
I know.
I guess.
I'll tell you who said it after the air.
Okay,
It's one of our colleagues at another network.
gotcha.
Yeah. Indian Hills, yeah, Northfield. Before you know it, that means you at the 71-265 junction, up towards Prospect and Goshen. A lot of strong wind, 40, 45, 48 miles an hour possibly, and very heavy rain. If we go on the wider screen, guess what, Du Bois? It has finally ended.
Wow.
Moses parted the Red Sea. The rain has stopped west of Jasper. So that means you in Orange County, Paoli, you in Crawford, Sulphur, and English, and Milltown. You're in northern Perry County, north of Leopold. If you're in Corydon, it is wet. Not a good night to shut up those fireworks. New Amsterdam, New Middletown, a rainy Friday night. Eddie Rabbit song, I love a rainy night. Floyd County, 100% chance of rain. In Clark, Scott, Jefferson, basically all of our southern Indiana communities, it's raining. And the rain is, the good news for our folks, look at that visibility on the right. Look at the webcam.
Yeah, that's over the Ohio River.
Well
Falls.
done, Jordan. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
You know what you're going to see? Almost nothing.
Yeah, visibility is not great.
So the traffic map, I bet you Louisville has gone yellow, I would think.
Let me actually see. Unfortunately, it carries, you know, if there's not a lot of folks on the road, it doesn't necessarily realize it. Yeah. We do have a new accident, though. This is the Waterston westbound near Dixie Highway. The right ramp is blocked. That occurred at 8:39.
That's awful.
So,
Sorry to have that happen to you.
yeah. So, you know, take it slow out on the roads, folks. We're taking a look at Cannons Lane. That's 64 in the upper left-hand corner.
Yeah.
And then also 264 at River Park Drive, the Gene Snyder at 64, and 71 at Frankfurt Avenue. I will say the camera there at Frankfurt Avenue is shaking a little bit. So that could be where those gusty winds are rolling in right now, over 71.
Yep.
So be aware of that. And it also looks like there's a stranded car here. So just be extra cautious on the roads tonight, folks. I don't know if you see what I'm pointing
The
at
one
there.
that really stands out is not even in a warning, and that is in Nelson County.
Nelson County, yeah.
If you're in Nelson County, you want to do you mind tracking that?
Yeah, let me go down there.
Bardstown on 150 going eastbound towards Bloomfield. I think you're going to get 40 to 50 mile an hour winds and a lot of rain.
Yep, so that was the area that was catching my attention earlier, too.
Yep.
So that little surge right there.
Yeah. What road? Just eastbound.
Yeah, east of Bardstown Road there, 150, heading toward Bloomfield.
Yeah, that runs over towards
That's the Parkway. That's north of the Parkway.
Yeah.
Bluegrass Parkway.
Yep. Just a hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that last scan. Look at the velocity on the very last scan, just west of Bloomfield.
Surge, yeah.
That they might
severe.
consider issuing. They might. That's
Yeah.
just west of Bloomfield, and Mallory will give you some track locations.
Yeah.
But I would think that might be Anderson County, parts of Spencer County, and far eastern Nelson. They may go severe. If not, they may go as special weather statement for 50.
Oh, that's not what I meant to do.
So that would be Bloomfield. Love Bloomfield. Going down there. It's always a pleasureful drive.
Yep. So in this direction,
Yeah.
Fairfield 852, Taylorsville if it continues, that northern edge of it, into Spencer County just before the 9 o'clock hour, Harrisonville 922.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, that really stands out to both of us. We both
We're
caught
like,
that.
huh. Yeah. Certainly catches your attention.
And the other one is in far the northeast part of Bullitt that's up against Spencer. There's a little, maybe that's 35, 40 mile an hour winds right in there. And the third area was the one that went through the metro, but actually I see more in eastern Clark County, Indiana. Looks like some 40s in there. East of Charlestown up towards New Washington.
Yeah.
You see that little surge in
They
there?
just went SPS for that
Yep,
whole.
yep.
So, as we mentioned before, SPS is a special weather statement, basically a step below a severe thunderstorm warning. So, quote, in order for a storm to be severe, we're looking at wind speeds 58 miles per hour or greater, or hail the size of quarters or larger, which we don't have hail tonight, so we're looking at wind. And when it's that step below it, like, hey, it's still impactful, they'll issue, the National Weather Service, a special weather statement. And this can be for winds 40 miles per hour, 50 miles per hour, 55 miles per hour, and then if it's above that, they'll go severe. So since we're still seeing some gusty winds at times, we have to watch that up in Clark County.
Yeah, I'm just double checking while you're doing that. I'm just checking the if we can get any winds at the airport. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I keep checking. Maybe I missed something.
So the surge down here in Nelson County.
There it is. Okay. They had 30 knots. That's 34 miles an hour.
Okay.
34. That was at 48 after. They took another special 27 knots at 38 after. That's 30 miles. Basically 30, 35 miles an hour. Well.
Yeah. So John mentioned earlier, you know, we use these tools, we use these radar tools, but they tell us what's happening up in the atmosphere, right? Higher up into the storm because of the radar beam, how it shoots upward. So we can see some strong storms aloft, but is that making it to the surface? Well, if we have some stability at the surface, it's likely not.
I've been in both chairs. I've issued probably 2,000 tornado warnings.
Oh my gosh.
I've been on both sides. It's very stressful.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt that at all.
It is, and the thing is, we use a lot of tools.
Yeah.
We're also focusing strictly on this. They also have lots of other duties.
Yeah.
The aviation forecast at the airport. They have to do the river forecast.
So busy.
There's a lot to do.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not critiquing them at all.
No.
I'm just trying to
saying,
explain.
Right.
Yeah.
Mallory and I both had the same kind of thought. It was in the 40 mile per hour
Yeah.
range, and you know, it does look bad on radar. I mean,
Yeah.
it really does.
Yeah.
I think the atmosphere became a little too stable with the last round that came through, basically 65 eastbound, and I mean, there may be a few large limbs down, and for you, Doug, maybe a few garbage cans.
Yeah.
But I think that is, anyway, I don't believe they're going to issue another one, is what I'm trying to say, for Jefferson, the one that's going up into, where does it go, Clark County?
Yeah.
I think the next one is, so if you're north of Charlestown to Goshen, I believe you'll get a special weather statement for maybe up to 50 miles an hour. I think the main show, once again, Mallory mentioned this, there's flash flood warnings basically across all of our Indiana counties except for Scott and Clark. I think that's right.
Yeah. It's basically been
And
filling
Floyd.
in.
Floyd, yeah.
So still in Jasper, even though rain is ending there, Paoli, Salem, Palmyra, Corydon, English, down to Tell City.
Yeah. So I believe, once again, even though they issued that one, I think this is a heavy rain threat and a driving threat.
Yeah.
This is a hydroplaning problem.
Yes.
You know, I'm on a project with a young man from Maryland, and we're trying to save some lives with wet lanes don't hydroplane, because it's just, they cut back the warning too, if you noticed.
Yes.
Is the northeast part, basically downtown north of there. I don't think they'll extend it. I'd be stunned. But anyway, wet lanes don't hydroplane. Please, please, please. There's no reason to be aggressive driving tonight with all this rain. You just heard a few wrecks that Mallory mentioned a few minutes ago.
Yeah, 264 westbound at Dixie Highway.
Yeah, that's a bad place for a wreck too.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
please be cautious if you're out on the roads tonight, guys.
And they went up to 50 miles an hour. Nelson County, our friends there, Bloomfield, I think you might get up to 50-mile-an-hour winds. Basically northeast of Bardstown, but especially Bloomfield, Fairfield, south of Taylorsville, and then that will go into Anderson County. That general area is heading to you if you're in Lawrenceburg, along the BG Parkway. I think that's the main show right in there.
Yep.
But I think things are...
Yeah, once this kind of moves out of the metro, we can probably start to wrap things up a little bit.
I think so.
So I'd say shortly after 9 o'clock, just to make sure there are no extra warnings that are issued. Special weather statement we mentioned down in that Bardstown area.
Boy, is it raining hard on Interstate 64. Boy, if you're driving west of Corydon, boy, if you're in Corydon, you're thinking of getting back on the road, just stay and enjoy a nice Twinkie or something. I'm telling you, it is a very unpleasant drive as you go westbound, all those exits, Leavenworth. Oh my God, look at the heavy rain. Do you want to do your little rainfall rate button?
Yeah, so...
Go to Crawford County. Look, tell me what color that is.
Oof.
It's got to be purple.
It's purple. Yeah.
I'm telling you, it is just unpleasant. If you're on Interstate 64 and you're in Crawford County, a deluge might be a good word.
Yeah, I mean, this is estimating rainfall rates of 4 to 5 inches per hour.
Yeah, it's just not good.
And that's the reason we have flash flood warnings, right? And that's the reason we talk about them, because these are very heavy rainfall rates. They're causing some, at the very least, major ponding on the roads, localized flooding, high creeks and streams. So please be aware of that. And if I put on...
I love going to Leavenworth down there with a beautiful restaurant and all those little creeks and hollers, all those little side roads.
Yeah, this number just keeps increasing too. 24-hour estimated rainfall.
What's your highest?
Purple is over 6 inches. That's 24 hours. So that's taking into account...
And there's no hail in
rounds.
there.
Right, so there's not the... Sometimes you get kind of muddied estimates when there's hail, but we don't have hail. So this is estimating, 3 to 4 inches in the last hour. So
Corydon,
flash flood warning.
The Corydon exit to Leavenworth, all in there. It's really pouring. I guarantee it's not. If you're driving, you're going to tell all your friends that was the worst drive you've ever had. Yeah, it's not good.
Not pleasant.
Not pleasant at all. Yeah, 64. So basically, I'll give you some roads here. So if you're north of 62, Indiana State Route 62, and you're in southern part of Crawford County, I guarantee, please do not drive through a flooded stretch of road. That's why we're on here. We're not here to disrupt your programming. We're here to try to save your life. This nighttime flash flooding is the worst. It's the worst. That one we had a few weeks ago in Lanesville, that was in the middle of the day. This is at night. So if you're in Leavenworth, between State Route 62 and State Route 66 up to Interstate 64 and a little bit north, what highway do we got in there? We got south of 37 and State Route 64 south of Marengo. That you're getting, I'm telling you, you're going to get another inch and a half in the next hour. It is terrible between Corydon, Leavenworth. I just don't know what the next exit. I'm trying to remember all my exits, what the next exit from Leavenworth is, but it's not good. In fact, my friend I got a map for roads. I'll know in a minute.
Yeah, so this is what John's talking about, just the torrential rainfall. And these are areas that have picked up a lot of rain, not only over the last hour, but also throughout the course of the day today. So you're looking at high rainfall rates at this time and also very saturated grounds due to the rounds of rain that we've been seeing. Once again, radar estimates today of 6+ inches of rainfall around areas like Leavenworth, and at least 3 to 4 inches of rainfall over to Corydon, near Leopold, up to Birdseye as well. And it does look like, that area we were watching near Bloomfield, severe. Yep. So that one notch that we were watching, or the one surge.
That one gets your attention.
Yeah.
If you're on radar and you see that whitish,
You're
kind of like a magenta color.
Yeah.
That's usually a...
So right over Bloomfield right now.
Yeah, that road, if you want to track that out, what road is that east of Bloomfield? It goes to Anderson County.
62?
Is that 62? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 62 will not be a pleasant drive either. We're like a travel agency here. There are certain roads you don't want to be on tonight.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is right over Bloomfield, heading towards Sparrow at 9:12, Johnsonville at 9:16, Ashbrook at 9:21, Fox Creek at 9:28, Kirkwood at 9:31.
Yeah, the thing about that down there, folks, is they have not been worked over. In other words, all that rain and storms from earlier was mainly north of there. It's really hit north of the parkways. We always use that as a line. But if that area could legitimately get 50 to 60 mile. Is that where they went 60? Where'd they go?
Yes, yeah.
60, yeah. Yeah, Bloomfield, very high winds, like right on top of you right now. But I was just looking at a map here on Indiana, back to the interstates really quick. So from the 118 mile marker there, just west of Georgetown, to the Corydon exit at the 105, and then over to the Leavenworth exit. Just tremendous rain. That's at the 92 mile marker. Very heavy rain on Interstate 64 and within 7 miles north and south of there. Good news is it has moved out of Du Bois, and before you know it, it will move out of Crawford. I'm sure there'll be great rejoicing. Along with Orange, it's almost out of Orange, maybe another 30 minutes-ish. But the one warning of significance is the one down in Nelson, which will be in Anderson before you know it. I think that's a good warning.
Yeah, that one was an area that we were watching.
Yes.
And it has the slightest little notch there.
Yes.
So it's better to be safe than sorry down there.
I think that's a good warning. I think you'll have a few tree problems around the Bloomfield area. Would not be surprised to get some reports of that.
And then once that moves into Anderson County, that's out of the WHAS11 viewing area.
And they want toward possible on that one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Just
because of the notch.
Yeah.
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 So this little area that we're seeing.
Yeah, that's the one that really stands out. And the mesonet, you got the mesonet wind? I just wonder if there's anybody got.
Let's see.
Got some flooding in Borden. Got a picture of tree limbs all over the place. Oh, the guy's driving through high water. No, no!
Don't do it.
Please do not ever drive through flooded roads.
Nothing on Mesonet.
Okay. Yeah, it's a very small area of wind. I think it's probably it's in Bloomfield right now.
Yeah.
It's not a wide area of strong winds, but I think the polygon is very well done.
Yeah, that's a well done. I agree.
Yeah.
So that's probably the strongest winds that we're seeing right now. Still gusty winds, of course, heading throughout southern Indiana, through Charlestown, Bedford, Campbellsburg, Prospect, but those are now subsevere. So.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed. I'm just looking at a couple other quick things.
You're good.
And the terminal Doppler, the FAA radar shows it as well. Bloomfield, it's actually east of you now on 62, maybe about a mile, 2 miles east there. It's moving off to the east-northeast at 40 miles an hour. And that will continue to affect the areas between the Parkway and 62. I think that's a good area.
Yeah.
Just southwest of you folks in Anderson County and Lawrenceburg, rather. Just west-southwest of you. That's the storm of interest. The one in the Louisville metro, the warning has been dropped, rightfully so. And just a lot of rain tonight. It's a rainy night in Georgia, as they say.
It's rainy, rainy, rainy.
Yeah.
So the gustiest winds are moving out of Louisville. And as we mentioned, the gustiest winds that we have for the viewing area right now are with that lone severe that we're seeing around Bloomfield. So we'll track that as it exits our DMA, and then it's just going to be a rain event for us.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that will be out of our area very soon. So while we're doing that, Mallory's looking at a few things. Southern Indiana. let's just hit interstate driving tonight. So if you're on 71, you're coming out of Cincinnati, it's not going to be pleasant. It's not going to be pleasant. You come down through Henry County and Oldham County, Campbellsburg, down to LaGrange and Crestwood and Buckner, Park Lake, just all kinds of rain and some lightning. If you're on 64, well, I'm going to get out of that way. Well, not so fast. When you go Louisville eastbound, from Simpsonville to Shelbyville, as you go east towards Frankfort, Grafenberg, the Saludo Animal Refuge over to Georgetown, is raining the whole way there. Oh, I'm going to go southbound. Let me take 65. Well, not so fast. Raining, moderate rain. I think the heavy lightning has pushed east to 65, so it's not as bad as it was just 30 minutes ago. So if you go down to Lebanon Junction over to E-Town, Sonora, Upton, down towards Bowling Green, you're going to get rain as well. And then the worst to go on is 64. 64 West is very wet. Very, very. If you want a car wash, you have your worst car you own, you need a car wash, go on 64 West. Just joking. Georgetown, Corydon, Leavenworth, very, very, very heavy rain. If you go 65 northbound for our Indiana friends, Sellersburg, Clarksville, Henryville, Vienna, Austin, lots of rain and nothing severe. The only storm that we believe, the tag team of Mallory and John believe that it's got wind worthy of a severe thunderstorm warning. They do, in fact, have a warning out. That's the one. It's still got a little bit of a notch, too.
Yeah.
So that means it's rotating off the surface.
It's trying.
It is trying, and that's along, is that along 62?
Yep, 62.
Yeah. US 62 in the rugged country of eastern Nelson County.
Yeah. I also want to point out, so I pulled up some power outage maps, and we do have some power outages in Jefferson County. So if you are in Louisville and your power went out and you're hopping on this stream because you're like, what's going on? We do have some power outages. Poweroutage.com or .us is reporting more than 3,000 customers without power in Jefferson County.
Yep.
And if I look specifically at LG&E, the reportage map, we have a few concentrations. One is around Shively in the Jacobs neighborhood. So that looks to be a concentrated area of about 1,000 customers without power there. So this is near the Watterson there. And then we have another concentration, it looks like in maybe the Shelby Park area. This is around 1,000 customers without power there as well. Those seem to be the two biggest concentrations.
See anything in Nelson?
Will it go all the way down there? Let's see. Not specifically, no.
Yeah, that was the storm we mentioned in Shively.
Yeah.
I think there were 40, 50 mile an hour winds in there. There could have been a little isolated higher.
Right.
But that is that area that we mentioned, Shively coming out of Harrison County. I would not be surprised there's power outages in Bloomfield.
Yeah.
North of Bardstown off 150 and then go eastbound to Fairfield and Bloomfield. I think there will be some, I think that's Duke.
There might be a delayed.
Might be delayed in there, but I would not be surprised.
Yeah, it might be Duke Energy rather than LG&E.
I think that's Duke. I'm not 100% sure, but we use that poweroutage.us, and that's very helpful to get us some information to you, the loyal viewers.
Yeah, so waiting to get some reports out of there. But once again, in Louisville, biggest concentration I see is in the Jacobs neighborhood, just east of Shively, and then also kind of around Shelby Park, Shelby Street area. So seeing a decent, about 1,000 customers without power there. So once again, our one standing severe is this one that's right around Bloomfield. We keep talking about that surge of wind, that little notch here. So we're going to watch this storm for you.
It has a tornado possible in the warning.
It has a tornado possible tag, which I explained this earlier in the stream, but basically confident that strong winds, and it's showing signs of wanting to rotate. It's just whether or not that can actually produce a tornado. So that's moving east, 35, 40 miles per hour. That should be out.
Yeah, in Nelson County, you've got 6 minutes.
Yep, it's now far east of Bardstown, Cox Creek.
It'll be in Anderson for our friends once we go off the air, but this is going to be an Anderson and Woodford County storm.
Yep.
Anderson, Versailles over to Lawrenceburg, Also, part of this line will get into the northern part of Mercer County. That's Harrodsburg County. And I think that's the storm of interest.
Yep.
Quite honestly. Flash flood warnings continue for a while. Washington, Harrison,
I'm
Crawford,
sure folks
Orange.
in southern Indiana just want it to stop at this point, so.
Yeah, who knows? They may. I haven't looked at Floyd enough. Floyd may. You may end up getting a flash flood warning.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Let's see if we actually have 3-hour rainfall rates.
Yeah, what have they got in there?
So highest is still, you know, Crawford County, that bullseye that we were talking about over toward Corridon. They might have to extend these eastward though. Just based on the rainfall rates, but we'll see.
Western Clark really shows a lot of rain. So if you're in Western Clark, Southern Scott, you see that on your map? Look at the rainfall in there in the last hour. Southern Scott, south of Scottsburg, Vienna, north of Charlestown, north of Sellersburg. Wouldn't be surprised, even if you don't have a warning, just don't venture out to low water areas whatsoever.
Right.
And there is a little bit of rotation still on that storm in eastern. I don't have any good towns. That's on 62.
The Warren storm that we're seeing? Yeah.
I don't have a good location. Far eastern Nelson County, east of Bloomfield on 62.
Yeah, there's not much showing
I
up.
think that's pretty rugged country.
Yeah, so 62, it'll be heading towards Sparrow. They're in the county over, it looks like.
Yeah. That county, that road gets really windy in Anderson. I do know that.
Yeah, you can see it on here.
I've almost thrown up on that road. So, yeah, that storm, if there was to be a tornado or high wind, I would put it 2 to 3 miles west of the Anderson County line or about 8 miles east of Bloomfield.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, right in there.
Yep.
Just checking the line. All straight line, 30-mile-an-hour winds south of there from Bardstown down to Campbellsville. North of there, 30-mile-an-hour winds at the top. I see just heavy rain. Southern Indiana, there is one area of some stronger winds. That would be north of Charlestown. North of Charlestown, east of Henryville. I would say it's near, where is that near? It's heading towards New Washington. There you go. Heading towards New Washington up to Saluda, and maybe 35-mile-an-hour winds in there. And just raining unpleasantly on Interstate 64 near the Leavenworth exit in Crawford County. That's beautiful, windy, hilly country. I'm sure those creeks have filled up.
John, this will be a question for you later, but you know on the Kentucky Mesonet, when you go strongest wind gust since midnight,
yes,
there's a 46-mile-per-hour wind gust for Hardin County. I just don't know when this was
let me look at that.
recorded.
Yeah, that sometimes gets confusing.
It's hard to know like when that
Let me
happened.
look at that.
I was just curious.
Oh, yeah. I know where you're going.
Yep, just looking. Let's see, max wind. Hardin County, occurred at 8:10. Never mind, found it.
All right.
So 46-mile-per-hour winds in Hardin County earlier.
Yeah, that's the one we talked about coming into Hardin County.
That surge.
Yeah, I think it's still having a hard time getting all the way to the surface. We said 40s. 46 is in the 40s.
Yeah, for sure. That's just the highest I've seen in our
And the dew points are unpleasant. I just looked. Ugh.
70s.
Take a look at that. Show our listeners how unpleasant. That's just terrible. All in the 70s.
Dew points. Here's the big picture view.
Look at those unpleasant numbers.
Gross, gross, gross. And unfortunately, those aren't really going to be decreasing anytime soon.
No.
So as our heat builds next week, so we're going to be going from this very stormy pattern. I know we all want to break from these rounds of storms.
Yeah.
Next week is going to be all about the heat and humidity. And so temperatures will rise into the 90s, but dew points will not be decreasing. So it will not be a dry heat. We're talking heat indices in the triple digits next week, so be prepared for that.
Okay, they got reports of multiple homes damaged in the Harmony Woods neighborhood in Memphis, Indiana. So let me take a look at that. Memphis, Indiana, that's just before Henryville.
Yeah, that same area that was damaged by...
Yeah, let's go back in the loop. Yeah, I don't know which storm that was. see, we go back. How far back can you go?
We're trying to look and see when these strong winds roll through.
That would have been.
I mean, if it was recent, it could have been that little surge, but.
Yeah, I don't know which one that was. We've had several go through. There was some a while ago that went through Memphis.
Yeah, there's some brighter reflectivity now east of Atisco.
Do you know where? Let's look at that map. If producers, you hear us, we got damage in the Harmony Woods neighborhood, 5602 Nature's View in Memphis, Indiana. Oh, they're asking if it's flooding or storm. I guarantee it's wind or worse.
Yeah, if they're getting.
It's not flooding.
Yeah, homes damaged.
No. So we are looking into that. They have cut the warning a little bit. It'll be out of Nelson County in about 3 minutes. So it's 9:14. By about 9:17, 9:18, you will be out of the wind threat. Anderson County is heading towards you on the BG Parkway, on the Bluegrass Parkway. You can expect winds somewhere in the 50 to 60 mile an hour range are on the table. And I'm trying to figure out when this happened, this damage happened up in Memphis. So I may have to go to archive mode and look for it. There were several areas that were rotating in there.
Yeah, there was something just about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, but I remember seeing one a while ago.
Okay.
Yeah. I see the one 20 minutes ago. It could have been that one.
That little.
Yeah, I see it.
I mean.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like we said, it's hard to know because.
These things are, people say, why are you in? Well, there's a tornado threat.
Yeah.
And we're a tag team. And so I came in, and they were spinning right away. Now we're in a heavy rain event. But I got to see what time this thing had happened. I wish he'd tell us what time.
Yep, so the strongest winds that we've been watching while he's looking at that, the storm that we're watching down in Nelson County. So strongest winds are about to cross over the county, out of Nelson County into Anderson County. So that will be moving out of Nelson County here within the next few minutes. That is the strongest surge of wind that we see. Maybe some gusty winds, you know, still along the main edge there. But this is that area that we're watching through Clark County, trying to figure out when this damage report came into Memphis. So
we're looking into that. While she's doing that, is it out of Nelson? Almost.
Oh yeah, it's basically.
It's almost out. Yeah.
It's right on the county line.
Yeah, it's on the county line. So it's at the county line going to Anderson, and flash flooding is really the main game now. I don't see any wind or tornado threat at this moment. There's that little spin in northern Clark County. That would be the worst storm right now.
Yeah.
Other than the one east of Bloomfield. That would be just southwest of New Washington. Is that the one that went over Memphis?
I'm thinking.
Let me just do a loop of that.
Because it went over it probably about 20-ish minutes ago.
Yeah, let's take a look at Memphis.
This little bright area that you see on your map here.
Yeah, that could have been it.
Between Otisco and New Washington.
And they just issued a new flash flood warning, as predicted. Scott County, Clark County, and Floyd County.
There we go.
Basically, if you're in southern Indiana, except maybe Madison, even Jefferson County. Yeah, everyone's got a flash flood warning.
Yep.
No surprise.
Besides our northern tier, so Lawrence, Jackson, Jennings.
And that storm's out of Nelson now, the wind surge.
Oh, they just went severe.
For?
That little area.
Northern Clark?
Yeah.
Yeah, no surprise.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the one area. That may have been what did Memphis. I'm trying to go back. I got to go to archive mode, but I'm going to try to find it.
Yeah. So if you all can see this bright little pink here, east of Otisco, well, and as soon as it's there, it's gone. But kind of that surge of wind that's rolling through New Washington right now, pushing to the northeast. So Hanover, Madison now included in a severe thunderstorm warning until 10 o'clock Eastern. So watching that last surge through our DMA, and then watching this final surge that's moving east out of Nelson County. So the reports we've gotten some flooding reports around Borden, I know. And then, oh, just dropped a photo. That's some roof damage.
You got more damage in there?
It's the same, it's the emergency manager in Clark County.
Did he say what time?
He
thinks it's the 8:56 one.
Okay. Yeah, that was what I was looking at around 20 minutes ago.
All right, I'm going to go to 8:56 and look at the radar.
Yeah, getting some reports of damage in Clark County, guys. So that's why we're just like looking over a few things right now. And because of that damage, National Weather Service went downstream with a severe thunderstorm warning for winds of 60 miles per hour. And this goes until 10 p.m. So this stretches northeastward toward Hanover and Madison as well for 60 mile per hour wind gusts. These storms have been moving about 40 miles per hour or so, and this one's moving toward the northeast. So I'll put a tracker on this so we can take a look at the areas that might be dealing with some, at the very least, strong winds. So Chelsea, 929, Saluda at 931, Hanover, 837 Central, Madison Municipal at 941, Madison right around 944, Midway at 946, Bellevue at 953.
Yeah, I think I found it.
Okay.
I think it's on, I haven't looked at the address. Let me look at the address before I speak.
But it was near Memphis.
Yeah, but I think it's southwest side.
Okay. Yeah.
That's why we're here tonight. This stuff is very tricky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most of us probably just dealing with heavy rainfall, some gusty winds at times.
Yeah.
Blows through, that was that. But every now and then you get these very localized areas of damage from these storms. So that's what we're watching.
Memphis. Okay, I just want to know where this is before I tell you. Let's see, there it is. Okay, Highway 31, is it southwest? No, it's north. It's on the north side off of 31, just east of the interstate. Maybe a mile on the north side of Memphis. So let me do that again.
And as we mentioned before, if you all have any storm damage, be sure to send it our way so we can let the National Weather Service know as well. I hope everybody's staying safe and got, the lowest amount of impacts possible with some heavy rainfall, gusty winds, frequent lightning, but nothing all too serious. Right in there.
Very weak.
Yeah.
I thought it was right here.
Oh, yeah. No, I see what you're talking about.
Right.
So it wasn't that.
According to the address is on it's like right in here on the north side.
Interesting.
Yeah. So they did go severe. They got that report, and now we've got a severe thunderstorm warning I got to get out of archive mode.
Basically from New Washington up to Madison.
There we go. Yeah, that's that one area. That's the last hurrah. Flash flood warnings we just mentioned. All moving off to the northeast. And that goes till what time? That's the end of our area.
This warning, the severe goes till 10.
10 o'clock, yeah. Yep.
And then after that, we're looking at rain.
Yeah, we thought we might go through. The worst case was 10 p.m. and then we'll be 10 p.m.
10 p.m.
Jordan, we told you 10 p.m. was the worst case if you're hearing us. Okay. New Washington, real strong winds there on New Washington right now. She can put her little arrows if you want by New Washington.
So it's this right here.
Yeah.
This is all moving northeast. So big reason for the warning is likely due to the damage that they saw, because we've been trying to get ground truth out of this, and a lot of the wind gusts we've been finding at the ground have not been
the worst thing working radar, the most frustrating thing in the world is I mean, I've made a lot of mistakes on radar where I issued tornado warnings for 2 and 3 hours in Missouri. Then I get a report, finally dropped them. There were tornadoes on the ground. It's very frustrating.
Yeah.
So the world has evolved since when I started. Now you're getting more people with social media and webcams and all this. So it gives you a lot of other things that we never had, but it's still frustrating. We had no reports. Remember that thing went through Louisville? I know there's power outages in Shively. We haven't heard any. Have you seen any in the chat of any damage?
Like tree damage?
Yeah.
Not in Louisville, no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then, oh, here's a report.
That's the Clark County stuff.
Ooh, that's a flying debris.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got. Yeah.
I think that's the main.
Yeah, there's wind damage for sure.
Yeah. So once again, this was in the Harmony Woods neighborhood in Clark County.
That one picture, that's never a good thing to see. This, are we allowed to show this or no?
I can't pull that up
Okay,
on
but anyway,
air, unfortunately.
There's a flying 2x4 that went flying into someone's roof. And that's definitely a sign of strong winds. So that had to come from somewhere.
Right.
And you got some soffit damage right here. Damage that kind of looks suspicious.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say on the air.
Yeah.
Might be an area the Weather Service might want to look at.
Yep. So
okay. Anyway, we can look at our problem right now.
that's the reason for this severe thunderstorm warning. Once again, from New Washington, Saluda, Hanover, Madison. This goes until 10 o'clock. So expect some strong winds headed your direction in addition to the heavy rainfall we've been tracking. And then on the backside of all of this, we have active flash flood warnings that still remain in place. We mentioned that kind of filling in from west to east. That's been the case from Jasper over to Scott County, down to Sellersburg, Corydon included in that as well.
Yeah. Anderson County, you're still under the severe. Just outside our area, that Bardstown one, you're done. I don't care if it's still there. It's over.
Yeah,
it's over
Nelson
in
County,
Nelson.
it's past you.
It's past you. They're busy dealing with this mess in Indiana right now. So even though you're getting rain in Bloomfield, as far as we're concerned, it's over. The severe thunderstorm threat has ended for Nelson County. Our main threat is 1, flash flooding, and 2, is that one storm that's up towards New Washington. It's almost out of New Washington. Before you know it, it'll be out of Clark County.
Yep.
As it's heading, I guess Madison's in this. You want to do a little track there?
Yep.
Hanover. This is where that
Hanover.
tornado was. I can't remember which event. Last Thursday.
Week and a half ago.
Yeah. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah. Paynesville, 931. Saluda, 934. Hanover, 840 Central. Madison, 946. Bellevue, 956. Bryansburg, right around 10 o'clock.
Yep. That may be out of there even before 10 o'clock.
Yeah, that's if it's going 40 miles per hour. I just kind of put.
Yeah, I think it will be gone by 9:50.
Okay.
Yeah. Saluda, Hanover. That's on Indiana 62, I think, as it goes over there to Madison. Not far from my famous Henryville experience over there. Not good in 2012. Anyway, moving off to the northeast, some winds. I would say right now they look to me about 45 to 50 miles an hour. And very heavy rain as it moves in there with a plethora of flash flood warnings.
Yes. So flooding area-wide is our biggest threat. Obviously, we've been watching some of these kind of localized areas of strong winds, looking for any kind of rotation earlier. Thankfully, these storms, most of them weren't able to capitalize on that due to some stability at the surface, which we like to see.
Oh, the green.
And now we just have a lot of green.
Lots of green.
So if you're under a flash flood warning, we always say turn around, don't drown for good reason, especially now that the sun has set. Much more dangerous at night. So we're really seeing that in southern Indiana, where we've had some impressive rainfall rates and rainfall predictions or estimates over the last, not only this wave that we've been seeing, but the waves that we've had earlier today. The ground is saturated, creeks, streams, they're running fast and running high. So
across the southern part of our area, down towards Washington and Marion counties, down to Taylor County, got a special weather statement in there, and they went for, I'm going to guess 45 to 50, 40. That's what I thought. 40-mile-an-hour winds on the southern edge. That's Springfield, Lebanon, Harrodsburg, Danville, and just north of Campbellsville.
yeah, I was kind of seeing that.
Yep.
So
That's no
gusty
surprise.
winds rolling through.
Smart move. We still have a giant special weather statement for 50-mile-an-hour winds on the east side of the metro, which I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's for heavy rain. The 50-mile-an-hour wind threat, I believe, is ended. Very heavy rain if you're in LaGrange and Charlestown, Sellersburg, Jeffersontown, Newcastle, Eminence, Pleasureville, Bedford. Yes, beautiful Bedford. And Bethlehem, all along the river. It's a rainy night. And the severe threat, New Washington, you're done. It's now Jefferson County, Indiana is the last county.
Okay.
For any chance of wind threat. There it is, right there on the border, south of Hanover.
Yeah. So right there by the river, once again, Hanover.
Even when that one's, look at the loop in there. See how it spins a little?
Yeah.
Even just right there. It doesn't just move. Look how that's kind of oscillating, and you can see it, folks, on your. That just shows you the wind is spinning up high, and the surface stability from the rain we had earlier, I believe, is protecting us, although there may have been a brief spin there near Memphis.
Yeah, so as always, as the National Weather Service gets that information to us, we'll get more information to you. We'll stay on this storm, and then we'll likely wrap things up here on WHAS 11 Plus, and then you can tune back in to our newscast at WHAS 11 at 11 for the latest on the radar, for the latest on the rest of your weekend forecast, and any additional damage that we do get out of here.
I guarantee the Weather Service will be going out there tomorrow.
To
the
survey.
Images I look at are either winds of 80 to 85 miles an hour, or they're a tornado 80 to 85 miles an hour.
It's interesting how that occurred so quickly.
I know, that's why we're here. This stuff is very, I mentioned this at, when did we start? Whenever we started, 7:30.
7:30,
Yeah, I'm worried that this is very hard. These are called mini supercells. Why are they mini? Because normally the ones we had the other night were 40 to 45, 50,000 feet. These are 25,000 feet.
Right.
And the rotation is concentrated in the layer between about 5 and 10,000 feet. And can they get down to the surface?
Right. And a lot of these haven't, but.
And the radar signature I'm looking at doesn't scream.
Right. It's not something that you would be like, there needs to be a,
Get a warning out.
Yeah.
No.
So,
this is a very, very challenging event. We've seen ones that looked worse than this evening. But the damage pictures that we've got in the Harmony Woods subdivision definitely get your attention. Harmony Woods neighborhood, excuse me.
So
on Nature's View. It's on Nature's View Drive.
Yep.
Just off 31, it looks like, and 65.
So strongest winds are moving out of there and moving into Jefferson County, Indiana, as we mentioned, heading toward Hanover, Madison. So expect some strong winds there along with heavy rainfall. Not pleasant to be out in.
Can we put this picture over here or no?
I would have to download it and everything.
Mind
Yeah, I know.
All right. I was trying to make it easier on you. Okay, so the winds right now, Saluda. Saluda looks like you're the place that's getting the strongest winds right now. Next one will be Hanover.
I do have an idea. So
and
you can
then
continue with that.
Go over to Madison. Saluda, Hanover, Madison, 40 to 50 mile an hour winds. On that loop you're seeing it move all the way off to the northeast. And it will go all the way to the Jefferson County line, which is the end of our viewing area. So Brooksburg, Madison, Smyrna, Lancaster, and then we go out to the west. I'm going to go out to the west, thank you, there we go. And I'm going to show you that all this heavy rain continues. Look at out to the west, continues to move to the east, and there's that wind surge. Look how it spins a little bit, right there. Yeah, right in that area between Hanover and New Washington. It's not just moving, it's oscillating and rotating around.
Jordan, if you could take the ROI computer, I can pull up the
awesome.
damage photos that we've been talking about.
I've been wanting to do this with you for a while. This is our chance.
Yeah,
Reed Yaden, if you're watching, we're going to do this.
From the emergency management, they're up in Clark County.
Are you allowed to zoom in?
Yep.
No? Okay. So you got some roof damage, some shingle damage that was peeled off. I can't tell which direction that is. It would be very pivotal to tell you what I think. The next image is the one that really gets my attention. The one, that one right there. Oh, yeah. Can you zoom in? Okay. That is a flying...
Oh, sorry.
that is a flying 2x4. That will kill you, even if it's a strong wind from a severe thunderstorm or if that's a tornado. Now go back just a little bit. Notice the roof gutter's gone, the soffit right there on the edge. See that white line there? And now it's gone at the other part. And it's definitely something of significance. You usually don't see, a lot of times with straight line winds, it just pushes and blows down. But if there's any twisty motion, you see things. I probably shouldn't say this, but for years I always said impalements. Oh. When you get pieces of wood that go flying in the middle of a field, a lot of times on a severe thunderstorm warning, you'll see just damage on the ground. But when you see twisties, you see impalements where that goes flying. I've seen them into the ground 3 and 4 and 5 feet on a large tornado. Definitely winds of close to 80 miles an hour, maybe 85, whatever it was. There's just 2 pictures in that subdivision. So Weather Service, I would not be surprised we'll need to go out and take a gander at that on a, Kevin or Mike might go out there on a Saturday. Thank you.
Yep.
How about that? Your chief meteorologist is an IT whiz.
Oh, I just was like, wait, there's a way for us to do this.
There is a way.
Yep.
So they got that one severe, they still held on to that. Maybe it's too late. When does that expire?
It should be in a couple minutes, right?
I can't remember.
9:45.
Yeah, that I don't know why.
Well,
Nelson should be gone.
Nelson,
you're fine.
You're out of the,
Okay. Our warning, Clark, you're fine. Clark, you're cleared. You're safe. You're going to have heavy rain. The wind threat has ended. It is all Jefferson County.
Looks like they issued one for Carroll County as well.
Yeah, that's Wilmington's area. I saw that. But basically, if you're in Jefferson County, Indiana, you're the last one in our viewing area with a severe thunderstorm warning. And that would be beautiful Hanover and Saluda. And then one of my favorite places of all, Madison. Who doesn't like to go to Madison and Clifty Falls? So the winds are moving your way. To me, it looks more like 40 to 50 mile an hour winds near Saluda right now.
Okay.
And then all we have is heavy rain to the west.
Yep. And then we're just watching the flash flood warnings.
A plethora of flash flood warnings.
A lot of flash flood warnings. Yeah, so this kind of fills in for our southern Indiana counties, Jasper over to Scott County, down to Sellersburg, areas off to the west, Corydon, down to Perry County as well. So a reminder, flash flood warnings are always put into effect for a few hours because they have to wait for the waters to recede. And even though the strongest storms have moved through these areas, you're likely still getting some rainfall, moderate amounts at least, even through Salem and Corydon right now. So that's why these flash flood warnings are issued and they continue to be put in place.
Yeah, a little surprised Wilmington issued that large warning, but they did. What did they go, 60? I'm sure they went 60. That's the default. Let's see, I'm reading. Hello. I see they got a special weather statement and a severe. Oh, this is lovely. They got both. It's like a...
Right.
Come on, give me the warning. 60. Yeah, imagine that. Severe thunderstorm warning continues in Jefferson County, Indiana. On the loop before, you could actually see the spin. Can we still see the spin?
Not as much.
Not as much.
No.
Notice it's changed. Now it's just moving.
Yeah.
That's a good sign the atmosphere is more stable. So that probably is an indication that the strongest winds have already passed between New Washington and Saluda. So maybe 40, 45 mile an hour winds are between Hanover and Madison. Is this thing, I think it's slowing down too.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's slowing down to about 30. Notice the change when the spin stopped.
Yeah, spin stops and it's just kind of like...
I loved Mr. Spock. No matter what he said, fascinating.
Fascinating.
Yeah, that's moving off there. Interstate 64 to the west of Louisville still looks ugly, but it's at least less ugly in Crawford County as it's moving out.
Yeah, so some areas getting some relief on the backside of this. But
Man, it's
been raining for hours up there.
It is a rainy Friday.
Yeah.
Get down to the rant and tell Doug Profit what you think of this rain.
Yeah, so here's that strong storm that we were watching through Nelson County. That's passed. Even that special weather statement that we had in effect to the south, that's all moving now toward Danville.
Yeah, that's some heavy rain in there.
Yeah.
My gosh, right in here.
Yep.
Basically,
Still some lightning with it.
Springfield, Lebanon, Campbellsville. up to Frankfurt, capital city.
Yep.
Yep. I don't see the wind threat anymore in Jefferson County. I'm going to say 40, 45 mile an hour winds and heavy rain. Boy, get rid of Nelson. I don't know why they didn't get rid of it. You're fine. If you think you're under...
Yeah, that warning in Nelson County is over.
Needs to go. Anyway, I don't know what else to say. Needs to go. Louisville Metro, you're in moderate rain now. Moderate rain, which will add up to the creeks, whether it's Beargrass Creek or whatever. I'm sure water levels are on the high side. It was in Middletown earlier when I came out of yoga. Nobody wanted to go outside. Let's see. That one warning. Anything in the chat?
I'm just looking. Du Bois. No.
Okay. There we go. Going to this earth. Yeah, they continued it.
Right. That's out of
That's way about area. That's over in the Lexington market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it looks like a bit of wind there on the Carroll County line with, do you know what county is?
Owen?
Okay.
I think that's Owen County. Yeah.
South of 71.
Yeah. Yeah, it goes in northern Owen. Yep. Carroll, Gallatin, Owen.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, he's talking about, we have this NWS chat where we look at what the Weather Service, a way to communicate. We've been sending notes back and forth. And we see pictures like what Mallory just showed you up there in that subdivision in Memphis. Some strong winds for sure, and maybe something worse, we'll see. So we got a rainy night. We got one warning. That will probably be our last continuous live stream is this warning up in Jefferson County, Indiana. The wind is definitely decreasing. It's actually in northern Bedford and southern or eastern part of Jefferson County. So if you're in Bedford up on 421 going, or 42 and 421 on the north side of the county up by Milton, beautiful Milton. Very heavy rain on a Friday night. Madison, it's coming to you. Hope you don't have any festivals going on right now because it will be very unpleasant. And then it continues to move up there out of our viewing area up towards the western side of the Cincinnati metro. So.
Yep, this is the last little bit that we're tracking before we just track rain for the rest of the night. So
basically.
Well, for the rest of the late evening, I should say.
Yes. I will be watching the World Cup when I go home. I know that. I need to know who won a couple matches.
Yep.
Let's see. The spinning is definitely ending. It's pretty much on the river. The worst of the wind. Yeah, right on the river, just between Hanover and Madison. North of Bedford. And I'm just checking to see if I see anything severe anywhere on the line. I really don't. It's really a heavy rain threat. That's it. Moderate to
Oh,
heavy.
it looks like,
Oh, go ahead.
did they drop it? Oh.
Which one?
Oh, wait. Okay, never mind.
They expired the infamous Nelson one.
Okay, and they canceled this one that we're watching right here.
Oh, they did?
Yep.
Yeah, we said the wind threat is over.
Yep.
It really is over.
Yep. So that one storm we were watching in Jefferson County near Hanover and Madison, they went ahead and dropped the severe thunderstorm warning on it. It's just weakening, and now some winds are heading toward the Cincinnati metro and then off to the east toward the Lexington metro. So if you do live in those areas, you're watching our stream, make sure to find a local meteorologist that you trust in those coverage areas in both Cincinnati and Lexington. But we are going to wrap things up here. Chief Meteorologist Mallory Schnell alongside by Meteorologist John Gordon. We're just tracking some flash flooding to wrap up the night. Join us again on WHAS, or join me again. He's going to go home. You deserve some rest. Join me at 11 on WHAS 11 for the latest, and we'll talk about the weekend forecast and the high heat to come next week.
Air you can wear is coming soon.
That is the next thing that we are tracking. But once again, thanks for joining us. Please stay safe.